on back? Go back. Alright. Shut. Alright, just wait.
Oh,
Hola. How's it going?
good.
Great, man. Already getting milked. Yeah, like, oh, it's first round. Join us. Understand.
Starting up a commitment double. I refuse to get milk with you.
Sorry, my mic is muted. I think it's way too low. What's up, everybody? Oh, I will be playing Overwatch today, Mr. Duck Duck Shoot. Bet your ass I'll be there. But I'm stoked about this first match, man. We got a really sick first round matchup. We'll do some Q&A for a little bit for anybody that wants to chat it up and say what's up and have some fun. I'm all blurry. That's how I feel right now. Ugh. I'm waiting for Illamite to come back. He's picking up his dad from the airport, and then hopefully he's going to be casting with me. You know, we could have started out watching potentially Swish and those guys, but I want to stick on board with Elevate because I feel like this is going to be a really good matchup. We got Elevate going up against Final Form, and it's Random Brainstorm Nemesis VTech versus Arcanum, Firebird, Jazero, and Cypher Pat. So should be a really solid series. Hola, Sling Blade. What's cracking? So yeah, I'll be answering questions. This game's gonna start soon. But this is the top 16, and the bracket is right here for anyone that wants the bracket. So there's the bracket, and then you can see that there's 14 teams. Now the reason that there's 14 teams is because Elevate is playing, but they went under Catastrophe, so it's Elevate with Catastrophe's points. And then something happened with another team where They had a roster problem. They submitted too many players on one roster, probably some team changing stuff that went down. So it looks like Only Good Online and French Toast Mafia are 1 and 2 seeds, both get a bye, and everyone else is playing in this round of 16. So obviously the goal is to win the tournament because there's some cash on the side. I believe it's like $750 or something like that, split 4 ways. Mighty Monstrum, after I'm done with this, I am going to be playing some Overwatch. Oh, thank you, Mr. Duck Duck Shoot. Appreciate it, man. Alright, so this game is getting underway really soon, and it's going to be a solo cast. We're going to have Strongholds on Eden as the first game. I'm not really sure where the game types are. Probably somewhere in that bracket. Let me look. I can't find it, but whatever. We'll just. Oh, thank you, HCS Live Tweets. Appreciate it, man. We're gonna get it going here soon. First matchup is gonna be Elevate versus Final Form, and if you're not familiar with those teams, I understand because they're all pretty new here. So I'll introduce everybody as they're playing, and this is kind of, you know, we want to kind of get exposure for these guys because, you know, we need to get the viewership up in Halo in general. So, you know, I'm here to help out with that, and thank you guys for watching. All right, so this game's underway. Let's get it going. I'm switching inputs. I'm actually gonna have to probably mess with my game sound because I think my cat unplugged. Yeah,
Strongholds.
All right, hold on, guys. My cat unplugged my cable. Just my luck. My auxiliary cable got unplugged, which is right here. Okay. Alright, so that should give us game volume. Should give us game volume. Should give you guys game volume as well. Oh yeah, we're in this. Alright, cool, let's get it going. Let's start off with Randa. He looks like he's picking up the splinter grenades, and I like that. He looks like he's going to shut off the angle towards the overshield and help at blue bend as well. Let me turn this down a little bit because it's too loud. But 2 really nice splinter grenades coming out from Randa. He's going to get 2 kills and move towards blue bend. I really like that play. I really like that he cut off the angles, but it looks like they're not going to be able to get the catwalk here, which is the most important capture point in this game type. So even though they do get that one, they're going to want to control catwalk here, and it looks like they did get the overshield. So Randa doing a nice job holding this. They do have rockets as well. Brainstorm has these, so they're going to be able to hold this blue bend and red nest for a little bit and capture some points, but they're going to want to get catwalk as they see everyone spawning, or as we see everyone spawning on blue plat. And this is a really nice sneaky spot here from Randa, and it looks like the triple cap coming out from Elevate. Now keep in mind, this is Catastrophe with Elevate's points, so that spot is really, really sneaky, but he doesn't pick up the kill on Firebird, and it looks like they are going to be able to capture blue bend. So Arcanum making his way towards red nest. They still do have catwalk, so it looks like Elevate is going to try to get everybody outside of red nest, which is what they need to do. Meanwhile, Randa making his way towards blue bend. Not really sure about this play. He's going to be cut off over here by someone coming towards blue bend, but they do have the catwalk control. They need to make their way towards red nest, and he is by himself. So Randa going to have to reposition and probably help his teammates get angles on this red nest. Nice job distracting and good teamwork here. They are going to end up making their way towards blue bend, trying to take this. So some sloppy AR shots, and he's going to get taken down. Let's hop on board with Jazero, who ended up just taking out Randa, who was trying to defend blue bend with this SMG. So obviously getting points for Elevate is what you want, but they do need to step up here because the overshield is coming up soon. So Jazero with a nice little headshot right there is going to be able to capture this blue bend. Rockets and overshield coming up soon. This is really big, and it looks like they are going to start to score here. So Randa doing his best to try to take this red nest, but he's probably not going to be able to do it right now because of the way that the spawns are working. So Arcanum takes him out. Not too surprising there. And Brainstorm gets taken out by the SMG. Yeah. Oh no! Wow, Brainstorm gets the kill right there onto 0. So let's hop on board with Brainstorm, ends up getting taken out. I want to see what's up with Cypher because he has the rockets. So Cypher going to be crouching over here. Overshield is coming up. So Randa getting the overshield, and it looks like he does get the kill. So Cypher does a nice job. Randa doesn't do the glitch, so I'm not sure if they agreed to not do the glitch or not, or if he just missed it. But that was a huge kill by Pat, and if he did do the glitch, he would have picked up that overshield. So Pat maybe could have dropped down and got the kill and pick up the overshield. Still not the perfect play that he could have made, but I still like what he's doing, and I like how he's playing really slow. As you can see, the camo guy is making his way towards where the old overshield used to spawn and making his way towards the SMG underneath the base. So grenade marker is going to show where he is, and that rocket is going to take him out. So really nice job by Pat, just slow playing it. They are capping right now. They only have to hold this red nest and blue bend. Eventually they will want to kill these guys at catwalk and then force them to spawn at red base or on blue plat. The ideal setup in my opinion is red nest and in the catwalk. I don't think anything's changed since the fact that the power-ups have been moved, and it looks like they are doing a really nice job. Let's see where everyone's set up on the rest of the team here, and you can see what they're doing. It looks like everyone's trying to make their way towards red nest for elevate. So I like this play because, like I said, the setup that you want is that catwalk and red nest, but final form getting 2 kills, so they do have a nice setup. Everyone's gonna have to reset on the side of elevate. Man, solo casting is a hoop. Holy cow, it takes a lot of energy. So Cypher going and getting that kill outside on blue bend. I still like what he's doing. There's no reason you have to go anywhere else. Rockets are coming up soon. He has the SMG. He can just continue to hold this side. This is actually a really good spot to hold in free-for-all as well. There's a lot of action that comes on this side, so just holding this red nest, holding this blue bend, and not really pressing on catwalk. It looks like they want to spawn these guys at tower, so finally he plays a little bit aggressive, doesn't know where everybody is because they're crouching, and Elevate's still making their way towards red nest, but it looks like Arcanum is over here, and now the spawns have been flipped over towards the blue side, so it looks like Cypher is going to make his way towards the rockets. Again, overshield is coming up probably, I think around 47 is when Randa burned it, and Cypher hitting his second rockets in a row, not really contested, and VTech is taken out. They still are capping. That overshield's coming up really soon. Looks like Arcanum is making his way towards that. Red nest has to be reset, so I wouldn't be surprised if he went up here and got this quick little reset, but he does have the rocket, so he's just going to play it a little safe, and it looks like his teammate's going to go and get that reset. So still spawning in tower, not really ideal. They probably do have the camouflage. We can probably cycle through and see Kyle, Nemesis. Let's hop on board with Elevate right here and see what they can do to try to get this set up. They have been going towards red nest over and over again, just leaving that blue bend, and it hasn't been working, and they are falling behind. And here comes the camo guy trying to get the kill. He's going to get the melee. The rock guy is right around the corner though, and he gets taken out, ends up trading kills. So not exactly what you want if you are the camo guy. Someone probably should have distracted instead, and maybe they should consider moving towards blue bend, and they end up getting that red nest. But maybe at that point you have been capped on for about 70 straight seconds, it may be best to just kind of switch up the strategy. But as long as everyone's on the same page, it's still okay. So Cypher with those rockets not getting any kills. Those were 2 big kills that he could have potentially got. If he could pick up this one and trade under the base, that would be big. There he gets the kill. Pat still staying alive. Cypher doing a really great job. Like I said, getting that kill is so important that he even gets the trade. The fact that he stayed alive is just such a nuisance. Let's hop on board with him because he's just been holding this side of the map constantly. He's going to make his way towards blue bend. Randa trying to cap that. Gotta get this kill right here. So they get the reset, so that's good. They're going to have to make their way towards red nest or catwalk because they are getting capped on. And some really nice shots. Cypher playing really great this game. Haven't seen that many mistakes. Gets the killing spree, switches over to the plasma rifle. A little bit of shots on Randa. And here comes the spawns. They are most likely going to spawn in tower because the fact that they do have catwalk and this guy is capturing red nest. So they need to get in this together, but the fact that they have catwalk makes it pretty easy to try to just nade them out. So looks like Firebird made his way towards that and is going to be on the catwalk. So potential trip cap coming out right here from the side of final form. And Cypher just having some really smooth map movement. Sees that person on the radar. I'm sure the person that was on his radar saw him too, so he's trying to book it. The rockets are coming up really soon, and there goes some control. So a little bit of misplays coming up to the side of final form. OS is coming up soon, and Cypher just constantly chasing this guy around, but needs to really focus on what's really important, which is getting those rockets, getting that overshield, and just continuing to try to cap on these guys because they have been capped on for about 30 straight seconds now. So even though they haven't had control, Elevate is doing a really great job of actually scrapping for what they can. And let's hop on board with Nick VTech because he has the rockets, and I'm not really sure what happened with the overshield. It was most likely burned, and there's a nice little rocket right there on Firebirdly. Gets the kill, still capping, and I'm curious what happened with the camo, so I'm going to switch to see if anybody has it, and it looks like the camo was probably burned. So all power-ups burned, rockets are in the side of VTech. I think he's out actually. Not the best spot to be on the map right there, falling bottom center, and it looks like final form is going to start capping. Now Arcanum, he's back. He took a really long break after teaming with Ogre 2 and the Australian guys in Nemesis. I'm not really sure how this team came to form, but it's good to see him back and playing. And it looks like they are getting the triple cap right now, and potentially being able to run away with this one. As long as they can hold this for maybe about 10 more seconds, they are going to lose the triple cap eventually, but they have enough points to be able to secure this one, especially with the fact that Elevate only has 50 points and 3 people in blue bench. So desperation play right there. He knows that if he just adds the pressure necessary and weakens people, that his teammates will follow up, and it's going to be really hard for them to capture this unless they get in that catwalk, double cap it, and get it going. And it looks like that is going to be first game going over to final form. Really impressive performance out of Pat. I'm going to give Cypher Pat the MVP for that game. Let's take a look at the stats really quick. Or not. Okay, no stats for you guys. There we go. So Randa, least kills in the game. Pretty surprising there, but did have 3 secures. And it looks like Nemesis with 9, Brainstorm 10, VTech 11. And again, Cypher Pat with the 15. Probably some really low deaths as well. And then Jazeera 15, Arcanum 13, and Firebird. Very underrated squad here with 10 kills. So impressive performance coming out of these guys. Thank you guys for watching the game 1. We're at 60 viewers already. Yeah, I know I need a casting mate. That's what I said. I could do it by myself though. I'm a one-man army. Oh, well, thank you, Kyle. Alright. So that was game 1. I'm going to go and peek into their stream and see if they started game 2, and they did, and we're only about 5 kills behind, so we should be good to just hop right into this and take a look. It looks like it is Slayer Plaza. Alright, so we're going to get right into this one. And keep in mind, guys, that this is a best of 5, I believe, and this is round 1, and this is Elevate, but with Catastrophe's points. So Elevate, with so many team changes with Hines and the things that happen with the subs going into the Pro League, and so many team changes that you end up losing your points if you make more than 1 team change, and that's what happened. But Elevate still obviously allowed to play, Randa's still allowed to play, just had to find a new squad and rebrand the team. So let's hop on board. Let's keep it on board with Cypher since he had a great game last game, and let's see what he has to bring to the table. Looks like he's going to go into the window first, trying to get the angles on the overshield. Wanted to nade glass there, ended up missing the nade, and they don't put enough pressure on stairs, so I wouldn't be surprised if Elevate was able to get this overshield. Typically, I think the red team does have an advantage here. And it looks like they're making their way towards, looks like, who got it? Did Jazeera get it? He did get the overshield. So, wow, blue team ending up picking up the overshield, even though they didn't have the best beginning strat. And Jazeera, not necessarily wanting to fall there, but ended up getting shot and dropping anyway. He probably should have stayed up top towards S4, but still has a little bit of overshield left. Probably want to play a little bit more aggressive on this, and it looks like he is going to do that. Looks for Nemesis over there on the sniper. Isn't able to finish the kill, and is going to get assassinated from that guy that was at the camo, and that is the sniper Brainstorm. Let's hop on board with Brainstorm and see what he has as he's sniping top snipe. Looking for the people at glass. There are 3 people coming up the loop stairs, so let's see if he can potentially get a triple kill here because he is in a really nice position. So we have 2 crouchers, and it looks like he has some help being able to pick some off. Yes, it does with the little bit of hover move there. I like that. Looks like he has the auto stabilize on, so I really like the auto stabilize on compared to off. I know a lot of people think that it's kind of noobish, but I actually like it because, oh, he's on S4 making some shots there, but I really like it because you're able to make your jumps a lot easier. As you can see, he just was able to jump from the ground to top snipe, which a lot of people aren't able to do. So personally, I have auto stabilize on. If you haven't tried it yet, I recommend it. If you don't like it, then it is what it is. But let's hop on board with Brainstorm still because I really like how he's playing this and just constantly holding top. And that's what you want to do. You want to constantly just get top center, hold S4, and then just cover in the angles and collapse on the spawns. And that's exactly what Elevate's going to try to do here. So looks like he's going to, instead of anchoring, is going to make his way over towards top gold. Again, I do like this play. As long as you're getting the high ground, you should be in a really good position. But there are some players in Hotel and the light rifle that are going to collapse on him. So let's hop on board with someone from the blue team, and that's going to be Cypher, who's over here top snipe. And he looks like he's going to move over there with the auto-stabilized jump as well. And he has the Hydra. So the Hydra, really powerful after the update that happened last month. Will just completely shred your shields, and the fact that you do have the high ground and the battle rifle with these positions, there's almost no reason to leave this spot. So I really like this play. They were able to secure the overshield and a 15-11 lead right here. So Elevate a little bit on the ropes, especially being down 1-0. They do have snipe control, but I wouldn't really trade snipe control for the fact that I have battle rifle and the Hydra over at this side. So Cypher's going to want to stay here in this position, just try to clean up kills like Nemesis, who's completely out of position for some reason, and you're just going to want to have your teammates just charge into other spots here. So I don't really like this play to go and drop. It's not really necessary. You can have someone else charge. After he gets this kill, I wouldn't doubt if he just tried to make his way into a different spot. But it looks like they're going to try to get aggressive and collapse on this, and that's exactly what they do. They got to be careful, though, because they are leaving the other side of the map open, so Cypher is aware of that. Sniper is coming up soon, and the other team's most likely going to be spawning in yard, and there they are right there. 3-4 people in yard now, so not the best position right now if you're Elevate, and you need to kind of get it out of this. And I really like that play after leaving Snipe to go get aggressive and get in that light rifle area and lay down those Hydra shots. So just amazing power weapon control, really nice map control, but even though that they don't have control on Elevate's side, they're still only down 7 kills, which is totally feasible to come back here on Plaza Slayer. But as you can see, that Hydra just doing so much work, especially with that battle rifle combo. It's a really nice trade there from Brainstorm. So Brainstorm getting a huge kill on Cypher, but again, Cypher 7-7-3. That's the way that you want to start a Slayer. And Jazero as well, who is doing, work with Cypher in this last game. So let's hop on board with Jazero and see what he's doing, because these guys have been slaying the most out of all of these 8 players. So Jazero has 9 bullets left in his sniper rifle, sitting on top snipe, auto-stabilize, looking for Kyle Nemesis, who ends up getting the kill on Arcanum. So there's no really reason to charge here if you're on the side of Final Form. They should just be setting up and getting back, and that's what happens. Brainstorm comes in with the flank and just not enough angles. You don't have to hone in on that one guy that's sitting on glass. You can just leave that guy there and just spread out into the spots that you need to be. So down 6, they could have been up, or up 6, they could have been up a little bit more if they would have just slow played that a little bit. But hey, if you're aggressive and that's your style, there's nothing wrong with that. And it looks like they're going to try to slow play this here as the overshield's coming up. And it looks like VTech is going to get the overshield. So let's hop on board with VTech, because that was a really nice pickup. They do have the map control, but they are losing kills. So he has Storm Rifle in hand, making his way towards the Zero, potentially ninja'd right there, and ends up getting out of there. So we're fighting 3 players and gets a team nade. Potential triple kill. He's going to chase this one down because he knows he wants it. Potential ground pound. No, doesn't go for the ground pound. Instead, switches back to the Storm Rifle. And that's 3 kills with the overshield. Only down 4 kills now. But the enemy team is spawning at the camouflage. So he doesn't know that they're there. He needs to get the call out from Nemesis, who's down there. And now they're going to flood it. I like that he's taking a different angle from his teammate there, but he wasn't aware that there was a guy on the blue ramp. So gets the killing spree, gets the top gun, gets 2 kills. But whoever was over there on the blue ramp, it looks like that was Arcanum, ends up getting really nice shots to try to make sure that they don't run away with this even more. So all because of that small misplay that they had with the sniper. Now instead of having maybe a 14-15 kill lead, they're now only up 2 with no map control, and they're just stuck in yards. So that play definitely coming to bite them in the butt, and it looks like Cypher is just going to sit here crouching, doesn't really know what to do, just waiting for the callouts in the flowers. And it looks like Arcanum has the intel, so let's go with Arcanum, because it looks like he's in a fight and he's taken down. So it looks like he was probably trying to sneak across and try to get some sort of map control, but through the bottom of the map they're just dropping like flies. That's not where you want to be. And let's take a look at where everyone's set up right here. So it looks like VTech's over there by the sniper side. It looks like Nemesis is holding the loot side of the map, which is what you want to do, but they are going to need someone to come light rifle side. So that's going to be Randa coming around, and it looks like VTech's going to make his way towards that snipe. So a really good position, up 2 here. Overshield's coming up in the next 15 seconds. Sniper's there as well, and they need to kill this guy that's flanking down by camo side, which is AJ. That's Firebird. He gets taken out by VTech. So now they're just running away with this game. Elevate completely dominant now that they got in control, and it looks like they're just falling one by one. Final Form is, and this is kind of what happens when you lose the momentum and other teams start to get a little bit pumped up and realize that they can win. Just that small mistake when you were up 6 or 7, you could have snowballed the game. Now you end up being down 6 and not really picking up many kills. So it looks like it's been, I think, maybe a 15-2 run coming out from the side of Elevate, which is pretty impressive. And Nemesis with a sick no-scope right there. That's 3 people dead for Final Form. That was disgusting. Let's take a look at the kills. VTech 12 and 6, so let's hop on board with him and see what he's doing. Top gun still getting kills down there by the camo with the light rifle. Picks up the sniper rifle, has a sniper rifle, light rifle combo, so he's going to want to keep his distance the entire time. Nice body shot, and up 9 at this point. So looks like they're going to continue to be able to run away with this one. It doesn't look like Final Form has showed any capability of being able to retake map control, and that's because they find themselves in these positions. We've seen Arcanum die in the hotel, we've seen him die in the dip, people dying bottom center. You have to have a smart push, or you just need to slow it down and wait for the other team to charge and get a pick, and then set up around the upcoming overshield, which is kind of what Elevate ended up doing, and Final Form just charged out into loop and gave away 2 free kills, which allowed their sniper to get flanked. So up 9 here. Nice shots coming out from VTech. Let's see if he can hit the no-scope. Lining it up. Is he going to be able to hit it? He's going to drop and keep his shield. So nice play. He's going to get charged. Ends up clambering up. Arcanum's on him into glass. And finally they end up taking out VTech. But it may be a little bit too late because they need 13 kills. Final Form does, and Elevate only needs 1. And it looks like Brainstorm's going to be the one to try to get this. He's making his way towards top gold. No, instead he's making his way towards the yard. Sees AJ Firebird in there. He could challenge that if he wanted. He could. Yeah, there it is. So Brainstorm challenging, getting that final kill, and that's just a big momentum shift just off of one mistake that they had with the sniper rifle. And as you guys can see, one play like that can really determine the outcome of the game and give people momentum. And you know, I'm glad that we were able to see that huge turning point. Let me take a look at the stats really quick for everybody. Can we? Stats, please. So we know Brainstorm got 1 more kill, so it's pretty much this, but Brainstorm with 14 kills. So Firebird with the 7 and 14, Arcanum with the 8 and 14, and that's because they were just funding themselves in positions to try to retake map control without communicating fully, and the game was really fast paced and we never saw it came to a standoff. So just by charging into those potential spots to try to get the flanks, Elevate was able to see those guys and able to pick those guys off, and that's why they weren't able to succeed in that game type. Typically, when you're playing against lower competition or an arena, those flanks work all the time because you can win your 1v1s out of position, or you can win your 1v2s from being out of position. But when you're playing in a tournament, especially for money and for people that want to make their way into the actual pro league, those type of, you know, flanks aren't going to work. You need actual teamwork for those to happen. So let's see, game 3 has started. We're going to hop on board with these guys still, keeping it through the entire series. And I believe this next game type is Truth CTF, and we're only a minute behind. So the way that Elevate was able to keep their points through all the team changes is that this is Elevate playing with Catastrophe's points. Elevate actually disbanded fully, so they were no longer the #1 seed. And French Toast Mafia, or they were first or second seed, but either way they disbanded, and now they are the 3rd seed because it is Catastrophe playing under the Elevate name. So that's the way that was able to happen. We only have 14 teams instead of 16 because Elevate ended up dropping out but reforming under Catastrophe. And then another team, I forgot what their name was, had another roster change problem because they had more than 1 player submitted. So now they are not eligible to play in this cup and had to disband. So that's how that happened. Man, I need some water. What am I doing with my life? All right, so Truth CTF, we're most likely going to see in the beginning strats here, heavy pink side control. Also, a lot of people making their way towards car side. Usually the people that go car try to get that sword, try to get in for the flag, and try to make a fast run towards car side. But typically your team wants to have pink control and you want to have the high ground, just like any other map really. So obviously the battle rifles have been taken out of the window and we have the fuel rod top center, but let's hop on board with Arcanum. Arcanum making his way towards the P2. There was a nice nade that didn't hit Nemesis because he was in the sneaky spot coming up on the side of the street. So let's hop on board with Nemesis, who's making his way towards top center. Oh, they got camo there. So VTech has the camo and is making his way towards the base. I like that he's slower playing that. No reason to really shoot and expose yourself to the rest of the map. He could potentially hold all of these guys back, but ends up challenging, and Arcanum picking up a double kill right there. So that was a really nice play by Arcanum. They did a good job of clearing out the base. And there was really no reason for him to challenge that. They could have totally slow played that. But Brainstorm doing a nice job holding P2. Really like that nade. Very underrated nade for people that are jumping up to top center off the ground. And nobody's necessarily grabbed the fuel rod. So that was a good opportunity for that camo guy to make his way towards the fuel rod and really hold serious map control. Because they did have P2 and they all kind of just flooded into the base and BF'd. And if you know what that is, that's kind of gross. So it's not necessarily what you want to be doing. But Brainstorm still just putting in complete work, and that was his first death of the game. So really like how he played that. Personally, I hold P2 until I see someone else charge in because I've been so comfortable doing that towards Halo 2. But it is really good to push into the base. Sometimes the best option, though, is just pushing top center and jumping into the window. So looks like that's what he's going to do, is push bottom center and then go top center and just maintain top control from there. But Arcanum, again, just holding it down with serious defense. Brainstorm doing whatever he can to grab the battle rifle and just hold down his control. But there are grenades coming in and he is taken out. So really nice job just pushing outside the base, stopping the flag from going pink side, and getting the recover, but they do suffer from map control. So Brainstorm just constantly pushing into top center. Really like this play because you want to cover different angles that your teammates don't already have, and everybody was already flooding in towards the pink lane. Where they are is weak is car side, so they need someone to really be on top of those car spawns, sitting in their own bubble or top car, just looking into the bubble and forcing them to run into their base. Well, you have another guy that's running the flag pink side, and you have another guy that sits on top of the base watching the car spawns. So you have two people watching car spawns, running around the flag, and one kind of just holding pink, making sure that nobody runs out. And this is exactly what they need to do, but he needs to watch car side again. So Arcanum pushing out top car. There he goes, running top center. Arcanum probably could have made his way towards the base to try to get a pull, and it looks like that's what Pat's going to do. But when you are that first guy up, when you are the first teammate up, it's better to just push right there. So a big mistake by Arcanum not going to get the pull, and Elevate is going to be able to get this capture. So Fuel Rod in the hands of Brainstorm. They are finally making their way towards car. It looks like they are going to try to clear this guy out that is above them on car 3. Crouching and trying to stay alive with this Fuel Rod. I really like this play coming out of Brainstorm. He's been doing a great job of staying alive, and he's going to have to continue to do so if he wants to keep his team in the game. So Brainstorm looking like he's going to be the main slayer, but let's hop on board with Randa, who has flag and sword, so super deadly combo, and he has the camouflage. So really like what Randa's doing. Huge nade. That was absolutely disgusting. Headshot with the pulse grenade, and then holding down the car side spawns, and there we go. That's exactly what we were talking about. Having that guy that is top car side, they get the cap, and that's what I'm talking about. You want to have a guy in your own bubble or top car that's watching the spawns, and look at how much momentum Elevate has after being down 1-0 in this series. After being down 6 kills in that Slayer, they come out with the swift 3-0, and there it is. It is 2-1 now in the favor of Elevate, and that's what happens. I guarantee that if that mistake didn't happen in that Plaza Slayer game, where they gave up the momentum and they gave up the map control, that this game wouldn't have been a 3-0. And let's take a look at the kills. Just absolute destruction. So Randa goes from having 6 kills in the first game, and that was a really long game, that Eden Strongholds, to now having 12, because of the fact that he was able to just get all of that momentum because his teammates did such a good job doing that nice flank in Plaza Slayer. So loving that they were able to, you know, come back and fire back, and it's going to be up to Final Form to see if they can continue to hang in this one, because they obviously were from the first game, but something's happened, maybe some miscommunication, or someone's kind of getting down on themselves, because that was too fast of a game for these teams to be so close. Yeah, that was a fast game. Alright, looks like we're going to hop into game 4 now. It is 2-1. Elevate in the lead over Final Form. Final Form, a new squad that got scrapped up, and Elevate is not the Elevate before. They are Catastrophe, playing under Catastrophe's points. So we got some questions about that before, and they did disband because they changed more than one player, and this is going to be Strongholds on the rig. I would say we're going to most likely see Red Team with the advantage here because of the fact that they have so much momentum, and also Red Team typically gets free camo and railgun, but the Blue Team is able to capture basement and nest. So let's see what Randa's going to do here to try to stop it. He's going to beeline it right towards this basement. Nemesis falling off the map. That's not a good way to start that one, but I really like that play coming from Randa, because if you don't send 2 people to basement from the Blue Team and you're too worried about going towards nest or going towards camo, you're going to give up that basement control, and the most important thing is to hold this back runway and to make sure that you're holding the carbine spawns. So Randa just constantly adding pressure. I really like this. Is that the railgun the guy? That would be a huge kill. If he's able to pick up this guy as well, that would be awesome, but Arcanum taking him out. So let's hop on board with Arcanum, who they are scoring now from the side of Final Form. Arcanum has this BR railgun combo, super deadly, but is he going to be able to get the kills and get these guys out of nest? They do pick up nest. He is no shield, so he's going to have to back down, and Randa ended up spawning towards BR base and cleaning up Arcanum, who was in that white corner. So Randa going to try to solo cap this BR base. It looks like he is going to be able to get it, and a quick triple cap coming out now, but control on the side of Final Form. So that triple cap not going to last for much long. Brainstorm making his way towards that basement window. Arcanum ends up getting shot in the back here. He's going to be able to stay alive. Ooh, really nice clamor to try to stay alive. Gets the melee. Jazero picks up the kill. So a good job of staying alive, but the fact that they weren't able to cap basement right there is absolutely huge, and they are going to have to settle for BR base, and they don't even get the BR base in this instance, and Elevate is making their way towards nest. So it's not looking too good right now if you are Final Form. You're getting triple capped. You were not able to get that BR base. They finally end up getting it, but they are on spawn, and Randa does have this scatter shot, but a really nice spawn from Arcanum. Huge spawn. The fact that Nick right there, Tech 9 did not see that spawner. It could be deadly. Let's see if they are able to clean this guy up. That's a huge nuisance. Arcanum not able to get the kills, and he could have slow played that a little bit more, maybe go for the back smack or whip out the assault rifle. He didn't know that player was there, so he saw the shots, saw that guy in basement window, wanted to help his teammate as fast as possible, and now Elevate with all this momentum and railgun and camo coming up, it looks like they may be able to continue to lock this one down. Nice double melee coming out from Brainstorm. He picks up a double kill. Let's hop on board with Brainstorm, and the camo should be up really shortly. Ooh, nice shot on the guy that was just about behind that ledge, but ends up nicking the top of his head. And just controlling the carbine spawns, as you can see. Randa just crouching over there. You can add pressure onto the BR base, or you can just slow play this at this point. And it looks like they are going to add the pressure. So someone was crouching around the corner. It looks like that was Cypher Pat. So huge play out of Pat, able to take the railgun out of the hands of Brainstorm. But we're going to stay on board with Brainstorm because he has the most kills in the game. And typically what happens is you end up spawning, if you have Nest and you don't have BR, and they are in that barrel side, you're always going to spawn at bottom nest in that open field area. So that is always a strategy as well. If you don't have control of, if you have control of BR and basement and they have control of nest, that's a completely fine setup. You can still hold that because you're going to continue to spawn in this spot over and over again right here, and you're just going to be able to lay down the shots from the carbine area, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So you know, this is a decent setup. Eventually you're going to want to make your way towards that nest area, and it looks like that's what they're doing right now. But you want to try to at least get the spawns and pick these guys off one by one as they're spawning. So I really like what they were doing, giving what's taking what's given to them, and now they finally get that ideal setup of that basement and nest. But they picked up a good 12 points while having that quote-unquote non-ideal setup, which actually could be ideal if you know exactly where they're going to spawn. So Brainstorm making his way over here. They're going to try to look like split up here. This isn't what you necessarily want to do, but they end up getting 3 kills. So Brainstorm, yes, that was a good push over there towards the left side, but his whole team was making his way towards basement. So I like that he was taking a different angle, but it looks like he wasn't on the same page as his team. But a pretty fortunate spawn, could slow play this. Definitely Arkham saw him on the radar, so this is a huge win. Whoever can get this will get the railgun. That guy is one shot, so he doesn't have to go for the railgun kill. Ends up getting him anyway, and it looks like he picks up the double, so really nice job. They are going to try to take this BR base. Potential triple cap coming up. Camo is coming up as well, so they're spawning carbine on the side of Final Form, and they're getting split spawns over here at the BR base. So typically what you want to do there is you want to call out how many people you're seeing, so you can be aware of the fact that they could spawn behind you, or you just want to maybe make your way towards the camo because you have the railguns and you don't really need to capture that BR base, and it's hard to just cap things by yourself. It's always important to double cap things. So it looks like Firebird has this camo railgun. He doesn't do anything with it, so even though Brainstorm ended up making the mistake of not getting the camo railgun himself, still taking out the other camo railgun player on the enemy team is just as important. So let's hop on board with Nemesis, who's trying to defend this basement. Firebird making his way with the AR. 2 people down for the side of Elevate, and it looks like Cypher Pat is going to try to capture this nest, and it looks like he has help coming from his teammates. So Jazero going to try to help him capture this nest, and Brainstorm just going off with these 14 kills. Scatter shot on the side of Jazero, and it looks like they are going to make their way towards the basement. So capturing that nest and leaving the VR side is typically what you want to do, and it's a fight for basement. It looks like Elevate loses that fight. So really solid job of slaying here, but it looks like the momentum finally coming back for the side of Final Form. And they're not in their final form yet, guys. They're in like medium form right now. They're on their way soon. It's not their quite final form yet. They just formed their squad, so give them a little bit of a break here. They need to step it up and get into their final form if they want to win this one. And it looks like Elevate just has too much momentum, as you can see, spawning there at the BR base when both of your capture points are being taken. Not what you want to see. He's going to need some help from the spawners to double capture this one, and that's what they do. I like that he was throwing the grenades there, but a really nice crouch from the scattershot guy. That's Nemesis. Let's hop on board with him and see what he's got going on. Not able to pick up the double kill, so gonna switch on over to someone who's alive, and that's Jazero with the scattershot. Not able to pick up the kill. Just everyone that I switched to is constantly dying. It looks like Nemesis is going to be the guy that we stay on board here because Elevate is triple capping and camo is coming up in the next 10 seconds. So they can hold this setup. Again, this is the same exact setup that is the same as basement, or the same as holding basement and BR. Now you're holding nest and BR, and you know that they're going to be spawning carbine and barrels. So you can do with that information whatever you want. You can either hold this setup, or you can make your way towards basement, which these guys are doing. And now you just got to make sure that you're watching the spawns. So it looks like they're going to try to trade setups here, and this is completely fine if you're Elevate, because you have 93 points, and this is the ideal setup in this game type. So as long as they watch the Desperate towards nest here, they should be able to take this game down. It looks like VTech is going to be the one to watch that nest side. 3 people down for final form, and this could potentially be game, and it looks like it is going to be game. He's the last guy alive. That's going to be 99. That's going to be 100, and this game is over. Series to Elevate, and I have to just go back again and look at that huge play that happened when Elevate was able to push on the guys that snipe, come from camo side. That was a 6-kill lead on the side of final form. They were up 1-0 in the series. Ever since they lost that lead, they never held a lead ever again the rest of the series, except for when they were up 2-0 in the strongholds. So, you know, I always talk about momentum in these type of things, and I think that especially when you're dealing with challenger players and teams that just had started to form together, a lot of these guys aren't necessarily set and sold on their teammates. So once you start losing, a lot of doubt starts to set in from the AM players, so, or the challenger players, whatever you want to call them. So I think that that's typically why momentum, when you're talking about these non-HCS league matches, you'll see, you know, reverse sweeps and things like that in the HCS Pro League, because most of these guys, especially now, have their rosters locked in for the rest of this Pro League. So they're going to be like, well, we got to deal with what we have. But again, I just look back at that Slayer Plaza play, and that's why Elevate was able to, you know, move on and end up going out of this round of 16 into the round of 8. So congrats to those guys. Brainstorm dropping the 19 kills, Nemesis with 7, VTech with 13, Rando with 11, and 10 captures. That's a lot of captures. And then Firebird with 12, Cypher with 7, Arcanum with 11, and Jazeera with 10. So hats off to Final Form. They put up a pretty good fight. They're just going to have to go back and strategically look at those small mistakes, and then kind of look at how they can retake the map control, and then kind of just look at that, you know, truth CTF, and just see exactly where their beginning strats went wrong, because Elevate was able to snowball that one so heavily. Yeah, I appreciate you guys like telling me, you know, how to cast and stuff, but I'm not here to like take constructive criticism and cast how you guys want me to cast. I'm here to cast how I want to cast, and the way that I cast, especially by myself, is going to be nonstop, because I don't want any awkward silence. So I'm just going to continue to talk, and I talk a lot and I talk very fast. So if you don't like that, I apologize. So Renegade didn't wake up on Saturday, and that's why. So it seems like that's kind of a typical Renegade move here. Yeah, Renegade pulled this before, so not too surprised. That's a bummer, and that's also you know, something that you got to be worried about when you're looking at teaming with this guy, is the fact that is he going to even show up for the tournaments, just like Lifestyle as well. We had that same problem with Chaser. He woke up about 5 minutes before the tournament when we were the #1 seed going into the LCQ, and kind of freaked everybody out on our team, and we weren't even sure if he was going to show up, since they already had that thing with Lifestyle happening. So totally killed the team morale, and that's the type of stuff you got to be watching out for, man. I mean, the way that I cast is I want to cast because I want people to learn the game, and then I want to be unbiased, first of all, and, well, second of all, and then I want to cast as if people were, you know, cooking some food in the kitchen and trying to watch at the same time like I do, or in their car and they can't watch, so they want to listen and hear exactly what's going on. Or maybe they have like some really bad internet at the time and they can only do audio only. So that's my style of casting, and I pretty much lay it all out on the table, all the scenarios, what teams need to do to win, what the strategy is, what the meta is, talk a little bit about each player. A lot of the things I talk about is momentum as well, especially in these challenger games. So so yeah. Why don't I cast for the Pro League? It's kind of a sensitive subject. I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to talk about it. I made that video about asking, everyone to show that I could cast or like vote for me to cast or whatever it was, just to kind of be like, hey guys, show your support and show that you like my casting. And then I showed that video to ESL and they kind of got mad that I said that they potentially were talking to me about casting, and they never told me not to say anything, and I never signed an NDA. So they're probably, if anyone's watching right now, they're probably even mad that I'm talking about this. But people ask me questions and I have to let you guys know what's going on, so I'm not going to hide anything. But that's just the way it is. I'm going to get some water, guys. We are going to continue this. If you want to know what the bracket is, just put in the bracket like this. Every couple seconds you can go and check it out, and I will be back. I'm gonna grab some water and we're gonna hop on board with someone else. Check out the bracket, guys. Let me know who you guys want to see. Post it in the chat, but don't do it until I sit back down, which will probably be in about 40 seconds. I know you want to come in, so just come in already. Just don't knock any wires out. Come here. You want to be on stream? This is my cat. Little kitten that we got. I got 2 kitties and a dog. But this is Genji. He's getting big, man. Look at this guy. He's getting big. I'm going to have to lock him out because he's psychotic, man. He's absolutely nuts. He'll knock out all the wires and ruin the stream. Go play out there. Yeah, man, Genji's a terror. All right, let's take a look at the bracket and see what we got coming up. Ooh, this is going to be a nice round, and we're getting right into it. It's going to be Swish's team versus Randa's team. So that's going to be Randa Brainstorm Nemesis and VTech versus Hunter Schlein, which is Baby J, if you guys don't know who that is, and then Eccentric, Exemplify, and Swish. So this is a pretty solid team, and I'm expecting this series to be a little bit closer, but something to keep in mind is that Elevate, because they're starting this so quickly and getting into it already into this next series, they're playing really well right now. They weren't playing so hot that first game, and maybe it was just a slow start for them. But since they're playing so good, you got to kind of be worried if you're Swish's team, and it's really important for Swish's team to come out hot in this first game. If they lose the first game, they have to win the second game. You don't want to go down 2-0 in this series, that's for sure. So I believe the first game is going to be CTF Fathom. We're going to wait for this one to start, and let's take some questions while this one's getting started up. Come to Chi-Town, dude. I miss Chicago. I miss Chicago big time. Do I have a schedule for when I'm going to be streaming during the week? No schedule. Just kind of playing when I can. I've been working on some production things, but one of them isn't going to work out. One of them isn't going to take as much time as I thought it was going to take, so that's good for me. And then I'm kind of just waiting for things to kind of fall in place. So I have a decent amount of time this week to game, so I should be streaming this week a decent amount. I haven't played this month, that's why. Okay. This game should be started up here, so let's see what's going on. I think we can go through swishes. Oh wait, they're not ready yet. So as soon as they're ready, we're gonna hop in the game. Where am I living, and do I come to Philly at all? I'm in Vegas, and I haven't been to Philly. Oh man, I haven't been in Philly. Oh jeez, when's the last time I was in Philadelphia? Holy cow, it's been a while, man. I couldn't even tell you. Has it been since 05? I don't think so. I had to have been there since then. That's crazy if that's the case. It's not that I'm like getting back at the Halo. I've been at the Halo for 14 years, 13 years. It's just a matter of streaming the Halos. No, I'm not like casting so I can get into finding teammates or anything like that. I'm just casting because I enjoy it. Oh yeah, dude, Shark Squad. All right, here we go, baby. We are in the game. All right, so we're about 45 seconds behind. Coaching, would I do it again? I mean, probably not. Alright, so we're going to keep on board with Elevate, and let's hop on board with Nick. We'll stay on board with Tech 9, who's making his way over towards the treehouse. I always like this play. It's so important to make your way towards top center constantly in this game type, and he's going to be able to secure the camo. He's going to be able to escape with it is the question. Making his way towards bottom center. See the player on his radar. That's going to be Baby J taking him down. So H-Slime, guys, keep in mind, that is Baby J, and that's 3 people from Elevate already down, and let's hop on board with H-Slime, who just picked up that double kill and is making his way towards the enemy base. Now, typically what happens here is that first person that's up is going to want to overextend and make his way towards the flag. We haven't seen anyone quite doing that. It looks like Nick Tech 9 is going to overextend and make his way into the engine, which is an unorthodox play, but it seems to be working out for him so far. And it ends up, it looks like it is going to work out. So possible counter cap coming out from the side of Elevate. Really like that play coming out from Tech 9. Typically you see people just beeline it right into the enemy flag and just pull the flag and start running it, but Tech 9 decided, okay, I'm going to just run into the enemy engine because this is where they're going to potentially have to run the flag. They're going to have to run the flag past me or into the engine area. So a really nice counterplay, and it looks like we're going to hop on board with Swish, who's trying to get this flag return at the Elevate base, and he is able to get that return. So double returns coming out from both sides, both teams. Really like the fact that they're aware of what the meta is and how to play this game type. And this game type is hectic. It's back and forth, constantly spawning at the silo, having to push towards the enemy flag over and over again. So looks like Swish is going to get in there and choke the spawns and make his way on the guys that are pushing the way towards the flag. And I really like this play. He's going to nade his teammate. Is he going to be able to stop this guy from getting the flag return? No. So that's three flag pulls, 3 returns. Swish on the killing spree, but no captures yet. So that killing spree really doesn't mean much besides momentum. And Swish feeling good, has some nice map movement, but he's running into all 4 players right now. So he's going to have to back down. Ends up getting taken out. And it looks like Rand is making his way towards the base, but it's going to double back because he hears the call out in the treehouse. So it looks like he wants to get top center control and just hold his base instead of going back and getting towards the enemy flag. So that is typically the right play. If you know and you have the intel on exactly where these guys are and you know that they're weak, it's really good to come back and clean these guys up. So I like that play coming from Randa. Let's hop on board with Swish, because Swish is doing work inside the enemy base. He gets taken out with some nice nades. It looks like Baby J is probably looking for the railgun, which potentially could be down, but his teammates are dying all over. He comes out and sees a teammate getting shot at, so he wants to help, but it's not the best move because there was a grenade there. So I don't really like this play coming out from Baby J. He kind of needs to slow play this, but he does weaken the player and stay alive. So ends up being a good play in the long run, and it looks like Nemesis is crouching over here trying to play defense. That's not going to be enough defense, and Brainstorm, last guy alive, trying to stop this one. Randa on the silo is going to be the last guy alive as well, and this is going to be a potential cap coming out from Eccentric, and it looks like they are going to be able to put this one in. Blue team with finally getting the first cap of the game. game after I think 4 or 5 flags have been pulled all the way to the base. So Exemplify getting a double kill, and it looks like Elevate is on the ropes here. I'm not really sure what this team name is. I think it's Tormented, but Tormented looking really good so far. They definitely know exactly what's going on. And keep in mind, Elevate was coming out hot. They did really good against that Final Form team after going down 1-0. So the fact that these guys are coming out this hot, this quickly, is pretty impressive considering they weren't playing a high level of competition in that first round. They were playing high level competition, but not as high of level of competition as Elevate was playing in that first round. So Eccentric Tony, been playing this game ever since the beginning and always been a pretty solid player. Glad to see these guys sticking with their team here. And these guys have been a team for a really long time, but have constantly just split up and find different fourths. So Swish potentially could be that guy to help take down this Elevate team, which was Catastrophe before they ended up switching. So this isn't the full Elevate team like I was saying before. This is the Elevate team going as Elevate, but they were Catastrophe. So Eccentric getting that flag pull out, that's pretty big because he got it pretty far, and it looks like who's running this one? Exemplify is pushing this flag. He gets taken out by the railgun, but the flag is really far, and they should be able to run this one in and train it all the way. So a little awkward spot to see that flag in, but it's a 3-on-3 situation right here. I would just slow play this one, and it looks like Tech9 trying to get that, but it looks like Exemplify picking up the double. So really nice job pushing in front of the base. They get the cap. It's 2-0. I believe the camouflage is still up. Let's see what's going on with the camouflage. Who just got that? Whoever's bottom center has the camouflage. So let's see who that is. Is that Brainstorm? He has it. So Brainstorm has the camouflage. Glad that he has it so it doesn't make me look crazy. And he's making his way towards top center. Really like this play. The grenade gets stuck in the ground. So and then he hits his teammate with the grenade. So if Swish is able to trade, that's huge. So Swish getting a trade, and that was a pretty big change of events when that grenade got stuck in the ground. And they called out the camo guy top center, but Brainstorm doing a nice job of staying alive with this and makes his way towards bottom center. I like that play. I like the fact that he decided not to push in towards the base, to stay alive, keep his shield. But the fact is this blue team is extremely aggressive towards the flag, and Swish getting the trade, that's a huge trade. Hunter taking out the camo guy is absolutely huge. So Slime making his way towards the base gets taken out by Nick, and let's hop on board with Swish because he's been playing extremely well and extremely aggressive this entire game, and that's what I like to see. Picking up the battle rifle, making his way towards the pit. Maybe wanting to make his way towards top center, so may want to get this killing back down if he can. Not a good challenge from Nemesis there. Needs to make sure that he realizes he has a pistol. This guy has a battle rifle, and he's been playing pretty well this entire game. So looks like Swish getting really aggressive towards the objective. The gate misses on Randa, and it looks like Randa's going to be able to pick up that kill. So let's hop on board with Randa, who's playing defense. He needs to make his way towards top center. Camo coming up in about 30 seconds. Railgun coming up in about 10 seconds. And this is the opportunity for Elevate to retake control. So Randa losing that pistol battle here, and it's a little disappointing to see these guys constantly pushing into the pit and instead of going top center from the treehouse. I don't feel like there's much going on top center. As you can see, this entire area is open here. So someone's gonna want to control this area. Camo's coming up soon, and let's see who's up top right now, and that's Baby J. So really like that Baby J realizes that this is a really big opportunity for someone to control this. Camo's coming up soon, but needs to stay alive and not challenge. And here comes the flood towards the base. It looks like Nemesis is going to help out Brainstorm. Brainstorm pulling this flag out, but he has the railgun, so he's just going to toss it out. And here comes Nemesis running this flag. So going to try to run this as fast as possible because he knows he has the support from his teammates playing defense at the base. Really like that play. His teammate takes the flag while he's no shield. And there goes the camo guy. That's Swish. He gets taken down from Nemesis. So the fact that he tossed that flag out right there, there's no way that Swish, the camo guy, could have known that the flag guy was still crouching bottom center. So kills the camo guy, kills the railgun, all from that one play. Really big play coming out from Nemesis. That could be the momentum swing that Elevated needed to bring this game back, and it looks like they are starting to get top center control now. So the kills and the slays going in the favor of Elevate finally after getting out slayed. Let's take a quick look at the stats. Exemplify absolutely going off with 21 kills. Eccentric, yeah, he does have the 2 flag caps, but let's hop on board with Exemplify, who is just outplaying everybody at this point. He ends up dying, but we're going to stay on board with him. 21 kills while your teammates, he has pretty much the same amount of kills as Baby J and Eccentric combined. So Swish and Exemplify doing a lot of the slaying. I'm sure these guys have a lot of assists, but at this point of the game, that's a pretty impressive stat line. making his way over here towards Randa, takes him out. And this is a really good opportunity now for these guys to push, for the blue team to push in, get this flag while they can kill this guy top center. So if you can get this kill, this could be a potential flag cap. Someone clearing out his base. One player is spawning on the silo. One player is spawning on the engine. This could be it. He needs to come back and secure this cap. Randa is making his way towards the base, and that's going to be it right there. So it looks like, I believe this team name is Tormented. We're going to double check on that. But let me go and take a look. Yeah, it's Torment. So not Tormented, but Torment coming out hot. And that's twice we've seen Elevate lose the first game. But keep in mind, they lost that first game in the series before against Final Form, and they came back and 3-1 them. So we're going to keep on board with this series, and we're going to keep on board with Elevate throughout the rest of this. And it looks like the next game is Team Slayer Truth. And keep in mind that Elevate looked really great on that CTF Truth. So if there ever is a time for them to come back, it is this game type right here. It is this map. So let's get into this game and see if it's started. All right, we're getting in this.
Slayer.
All right, let's see what these guys do in the beginning of Slayer. Remember, Brainstorm went towards P2 and Nemesis went up the slide, so I'm going to hop on board with Nemesis and see if he does the same thing, because we have the intel on what he did last series. So let's see if that's the same play as before. And if you were watching the previous series from the other team, you would know that he goes to that spot. So Nemesis again going to that same spot. Brainstorm making his way towards top center, and it looks like Exemplify gets taken out. And a huge start for Elevate, already up 3-0. Getting control of that pink side. It looks like they're going to try to control red base, looking for the spawns. They are going to be spawning in that red bubble. So love the fact that Nemesis decided that he knows he needs to control both bases and pink side and force this guy's car. But wow, I can't believe that Torment knew that he was hiding there. They must have saw his assault rifle or something when he was hiding in that corner, or at least saw him pushing into that side. So Randa's going to be controlling car side. Nemesis most likely just going to stay in this base and lay down the shots from the window. Typically you want to just control as much real estate as possible. I know we hear Walshy talk about that, is you want to own as much percentage of the map as possible. It's like owning real estate, right? It's like in Monopoly. As long as you have that much of the map covered, you don't really leave much for these guys to operate. So a 10-1 lead coming out from the side of Elevate. It's going to be really hard for Torment to come back here unless they have some sort of take-back strategy. So it looks like they're going to try to go towards red base, and Nemesis laying down the shots from pink side. Swish making his way towards bottom center to top center. Not really sure if that's the best play in that scenario. Gets taken out. You need to try to focus on getting pink control and pushing out together as a team while making sure you're not getting flanked from car side and shot from the window. That's the key to retaking this map. So Nemesis holding pink 2, but someone is P3, kind of being a nuisance. Like the fact that that guy's crouching up there. Looks like that's Baby J. And everyone for Torment is spawning on the blue side. So, oh, we have split spawns. So we have split spawns red and blue side. So there's the first mistake coming out from Elevate, allowing them to spawn in that red side when they should have been forcing everybody to spawn in blue side. So let's see how they're able to do that. And I believe that's because Randa was over here the entire time staying alive on this car side. So let's see what Randa's going to do. Ends up falling under the base here while he's fighting multiple players. But keep in mind, Torment does have pink control, so he's going to get shot in the back here. When he got it, Hunter was able to pick up this kill. Looks like Randa doing a really nice job of calling out that that guy's player pink 2. That player's pink 2. Staying alive and making his way towards the camo. Nice shots on Swish there. Swish most likely wasn't expecting him to thrust forward in that situation, so really like that play coming out from Randa. And keep in mind, camo is coming up, so we're gonna hop on board with these guys. You see who picked up the camo. I believe that is Brainstorm who just picked it up. So let's see if he can escape with this camo. He does have carbine, he does have the new combo, and Swish chasing him down with that assault rifle. So a really nice job from Torment trying to bring this one back. They were down a substantial amount, but since then they were not. Elevate was not able to snowball this. So nice job of weathering the storm. Swish holding on top of the base here. His teammate's already there, so he realizes he needs to get out of there. And maybe it took a little bit too long to potentially get out of their angles. And now his teammate also left that spot. So it looks like Swish not really sure what he wants to do in this situation. Needs to get a couple more fallouts for his team, but 2 players are dead. So it's up to him to kind of watch the spawns here. He's going to switch over to his carbine. He has 4 players on our maps now. So let's see what he's able to do. He's slow play this one, making his way up there. He has help from his teammate, gets the double kill. It's a kind of a delayed double. He doesn't end up getting it, but they're all spawning car side. So Really nice job. The enemy team is spawning on top of this base here, so the fact that they were able to get that kill and that trade was really big, and the fact that Swish dropped under the base instead of making his way towards pink side is pretty big. There's really no reason for them to have that many people in that spot, but either way, they're still only down 4 kills, and some really nice shots coming out from Swish, getting that perfect medal, only down 2 kills. And Elevate needs to realize they're dying a lot one by one. They need to strategically get pink control. Camo's coming up in about 30-40 seconds, and whoever gets this pink control is going to have that huge momentum swing in the middle of the game, which may be able to take them to victory. So, you know, keep in mind, Elevate doesn't want to go down 2-0 in this series. Torment, the blue team, had won this game, game 1, so it's really important, and this is exactly what Elevate's doing. They push 3 people towards pink side, so I really like that play. And that's pretty much exactly what you need to do. You need to go get that pink control. You need to control this camo. It's coming up in the next 15 seconds. Eccentric ends up pushing over towards pink 2 because all of the Elevate members push towards red, so I'm really curious why they decided that they wanted to chase kills under there. Randa has the sword, so it's good that he's over there, but whoever else chased in that scenario needed to just hold pink control because the camouflage is coming up. So whoever can get this camo, it is still up. Let's go flying Y mode and see what's going on. Someone from the blue team picked it up, is playing a little bit too aggressive and gets taken out. So whoever picked up that camo needed to stay alive. And it looks like red team is getting this pink control. Nemesis picking up a kill car side with Randa. That's pretty big, but still only a 3-kill lead. If they could have secured that camo on the side of Torment, this could have potentially been huge because the fuel rod is up. Nemesis is going to pick it up. Let's see what he can do with it right there. I can't believe he wasn't able to get that kill on Baby J. Baby J doing a really nice job staying alive. They do have the information that Nemesis is top center with this fuel rod, so let's see how long he's going to stay alive. Really, I like this play. I like that he's just shooting the shots here. He's to just waste the ammo. He had a good play, but potentially the fact that Baby J stayed alive, he wasn't expecting that. So he decides just to waste the ammo. That's a really nice play coming out from Nemesis. Sometimes when you're playing against such high level of competition, things don't work out as planned, and Baby J obviously doing a really nice job of holding that ledge on the pink side, making sure he's not getting hit by those fuel rod shots. So Nemesis again anchoring here, and he's going to make his way towards the pink side. I would probably try to get into pink 2 right here. He has help, so since his teammates are pushing, he needs to realize that he needs to go and take a different angle here. So I like this play. There goes Swish again, doing that bottom center to top center push. So it seems like that's his thing, and it looks like a 3-kill lead coming out from Elevate, and Nemesis didn't see the flank coming out from the side, so whoever's car side needs to drop down on this kill and get that kill on Nemesis, and that's exactly what they do. So now they're controlling at least half of the map, but they don't have pink control. So Torment's going to have to get this pink control. Camo's coming up in about 15 seconds. Really like, who is that? Swish? Swish made his way from top center to P3, gets the splinter grenade. Really nice play coming out from Swish. Is he going to be able to pick up that kill? That was a big kill. Swish staying alive in front of the base. That's 3 players down, using a nice job of the thrust to get around the corner, and that's a huge momentum shift. 40-38. Elevate's down. Camo's coming up soon. They're all spawning inside blue bubble, so I'm curious to see if they're all going to pop up. Yeah, there they are. 3 players in the bubble. Curious where this last player is. Let's see where he is. He spawned pink 1, so Camo's coming up soon. Let's see if this guy can sneak his way towards the camo and pick it up. Who is that? That's Brainstorm. So let's see what Brainstorm can do. They're down 2 kills. He needs to bring this back. It looks like he's going to pick up Swish under the base, so this is a good situation. I would trade the camo for a 1-kill disadvantage any day of the week, especially when you have the Storm Rifle. He's going to need a little help here. Make sure you don't challenge to stay alive. He still has plenty of time on the camo. Tie game here, and everybody's spawning on red 2 for the side of Torment. So they have the intel that he is pink 1, but Brainstorm doing a nice job of using the angles, using the information that he has, and bringing this back for his team with this camo here. So here goes Baby J getting taken to 1 shot. 2 people crouching below, and they end up scattering and going under the base, so he has to chase. And they have no idea that he's even there because he's not on radar. He has the camouflage, and there it is. Elevate with the 2-kill lead, all because Brainstorm was able to pick up that camo. So let's hop on board with Nemesis, who just picked up a kill, and they have pink control. So not looking good right now for Torment. They forgot about that camo, and they let Brainstorm come in when they had complete control. They had 3 guys trapped in that bubble. Swish is on top of that base. They just forgot about the camouflage. All they had to do was rotate back. This one's not over yet, but they could have potentially secured the win just with that little play of not challenging that and backing off. And there it is right there. That's going to be 50-45. Taking a look at the stats, 15 assists coming out from Nemesis. That's a lot. Brainstorm with the 16 and 12. VTech with the 14 and 13. Randa 12 and 9. Baby J 12 and 11. Swish 12 and 14. Exemplify 11 and 13. And Eccentric 10 and 12. So again, you just go back and look at it. It was 42-40. All these guys are trapped in the bubble. Elevate's on the ropes. One guy dies. He spawns pink side of blue base and just runs over towards pink 1 and just waits for the camo. And is like, whatever, it's 42-41 now. My teammates are stuck in the bubble, but I'm going to get the camo. And whoever forgot about that camo, I think it was everybody on the side of Torment, that was what ended up allowing them back into it. Brainstorm doing a nice job, nice awareness that that camo was late. And hats off to Elevate. Let's see if they are able to bring this back in fashion like they did in that first series. Oh, man. No, I'm not really trying to impress anybody with casting. I already know what I'm capable of, and if they don't realize that I'm a good caster, that's on them. I'm just doing this because I want to do it. Alright, so we're hopping into game 3. Not really sure what the game type is. Looks like it's going to be Strongholds on Empire, and we're going to have to wait about a minute for this one to start. Did I see Towie's video on YouTube? Which one? He's got a bunch of them. Are you talking about the EG house? No, I'm not competing anytime soon. Someone at the door? Why is someone knocking on my door on a Sunday? I guess they just deliver packages on Sundays now. Alright. This game started, let's hop in. Series tied 1-1. This is Torment versus Elevate. Definitely the best series in this round of 8 here. Winner goes on to the top 4. And if the... So pretty much they just have to win 3 more rounds in order to win this thing. So, you know, only 16 teams in the tournament. Every win, every, you know, game that you win is huge. So that was really big for Elevate to come back after being down, you know, 1-0 in the series, not having control. Absolutely huge. So let's hop on board with Rando. Rando making his way immediately towards the pit to try to cap this one. Surprised that there was no contention on this one. I'm not really sure what Torment's doing. It looks like they were making their way towards outside and not contesting the pit. And it looks like Randa is not going to be able to capture this, but Nemesis is able to help finish this one off. Love that they had 2 people in the hill, and I love that play from Randa. I'm so shocked that nobody from Torment was able to contest that, and once you give up pit control in this game type against a good team, it's so hard to get it back. Yeah, they're going to be able to capture red base, that's fine, but they're just going to trade blue base here, and it looks like Elevate is going to be able to hold complete control. And Random making his way outside. So I really like this play. Baby J is making his way towards the tower side, but 2 of his teammates are taken down. That's 3 now. That's going to potentially be a triple cap. Random knows that he has to make his way back towards the base that he just captured because they are going to be spawning there. And this is exactly how this game type goes. It's pretty much like Ring Around the Rosie. You just go around picking up the grenades, just trying to stay alive. Like the fact that he stuck him right there. Eventually, you don't have to overcommit. The fact that he got that stick was really big. If he didn't get this stick, they potentially would have been able to have 1 more person capturing the pit, and it would be going a lot faster than it is right now. So they probably wouldn't have been able, they would have been able to capture the pit if he didn't get that stick, but they do get it anyway. So that's what I'm talking about. While you go and you want to rotate towards that, if you have the triple cap, sometimes it's better just to let them get that side base because they are, you know, going to kill you if you overextend past the fans. So you see a lot of mistakes from players like that, and it looks like Rand is going to try to solo cap this pit, which doesn't typically work. Let's see if it's going to happen. Misses the melee on Baby J and gets taken out from a Cetric with the ground pound, but a death nade is going to take him out. It looks like it was probably a team nade, and I think they're going to be able to capture this pit. So no team able to hold complete control for this pit, and it's kind of been back and forth. And here it is. They don't want to overextend. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The saw is coming up We have Nemesis over here. Randa needs to help out Nemesis. So there it is. There comes the help. And he didn't see the player that went into the turbine. And 2 players on the sneaky. So 3 people in the turbine area. Nemesis gets his kill and gets a centric. But Randa didn't get any kills yet, trying to stay alive on his fan. And now's your opportunity to cap that side base. So if he wants to get aggressive, that's fine at that area. Once you get that kill, once you get that pick, then you kind of push in. You know that they're going to be spawning on the plat. What I like to do is I like to get on top of their BR. And I just like to hold that area because it's so annoying when you're spawning on the plat or you're trying to make your way towards the fan and someone's on the opposite fan shooting you and someone's on your BR. It's really annoying. So that's the play that I usually look for. And it looks like Randa, instead of capturing the side base, is going to make his way towards the pit. So I like that play. A lot of people would sit in the side base and wait and just capture the side base and be like, oh, one of my teammates is going to get these guys out of the pit. But if everyone has that mentality, then nobody's going to get the guys out of the pit. And the pit's the most important part of this game type. So you need to obviously be holding 2 strongholds to capture. I'm sure you guys know that already. So Randa just doing a really good job of prioritizing kills and prioritizing objective, which is what you need to do at this high level of gameplay. So he's trying to make his way towards the side base there, but overextends because he doesn't realize that his teammates are capturing red base. And Nemesis picking up a huge double. So Nemesis able to stop the potential push towards the pit is really big. And let's hop on board with Nick with VTech, who's just holding outside here. And this is exactly what they need to do. They just need to get 1 guy in tower and the rest of the guys outside in top center, just like they're doing right now. Because typically what happens in this situation is most players aren't going to make their way towards the pit and just desperate towards the pit. Typically good teams are going to make their way outside and try to get into the other base or try to get picks outside and then make their way towards the pit. So it's more common, I'd say like 70-30 players are going to push outside instead of tower side in this situation. So I like the way that Elevate's playing this one, just constantly keeping control of pit now. They've obviously held pit a lot better than Torment this game, and that's the reason that they're so well off, 62-12 here. And keep in mind that we do have power-ups and weapons coming up pretty shortly here. So whoever gets control is going to be able to have a huge advantage. So let's see if Torment uses this to their advantage to try to get control of this pit and try to make their way back. It looks like they have 3 people in the pit. So I like the fact that they, instead of keeping 2, they decided, hey, 3 is better than 2, but what happens is they end up getting grenaded because they were all in that same little small area of the pit. So that's going to end up being all 4 down if he can get that kill on a centric, and they are spawning at the fan. So pushing outside, like I said, that's typical here, but they are able to capture this, and they're probably just going to be able to slow play this. Again, there's no reason to go for the triple cap. They can just hold turbine, hold outside, and that's what you see. The fact that you do have radar, all you have to do is crouch below the sneaky, crouch below the fan, and just have extra help on the outside fan. Once you get the picks, then you go for the triple cap, and that's exactly what they're doing, just like I was saying. So let's see if they're able to pick this one off, and it looks like Baby J has all of these guys spawning inside of tower, and this is exactly what you need to do. Force them in the tower once you get the slay so they're not on the plat. Now you have the triple cap, and now you can hold this for a lot longer. And look at that. This triple cap is getting them so many points. It's 67-33 now. So, you know, a really nice job of once they've got the pit, able to hold it, but also, you know, getting the slays and, again, just forcing them to spawn in the tower, which is what you want to do in this game type. So, nice job, Randa, denying the kill and, you know, getting away from those grenades, and those splinter grenades could have potentially helped them save the pit. So again, even though they are doing a great job when they're getting control, they're not really setting up to get the guys out of the pit. But Elevate, you know, you got to give it to them. They're really ruthless when it comes to sacrificing themselves, and it looks like they obviously don't care about the stats and they want to get the dirty work done. So hats off to Randa and those guys for playing aggressive on the objective and realizing it's not necessarily about the, you know, slays. Sometimes you can just get into the pit and get the cap. So when we take a look at the slays, they are getting outslayed by a little bit. Baby J and Exemplify need to step it up in the kill department if they want to hang, especially when Exemplify only has 1 capture and 1 secure. So let's hop on board with him and see if he's making any mistakes that we could potentially, you know, help him out with his gameplay. So we're going to stay on board with Exemplify as the power-ups and weapons are coming up really soon. So Exemplify getting the spawn here. Looks like that's a pretty good spawn for him to start this off, but obviously while he's taking this base, Elevate super aggressive on the objective and taking out, you know, Randa taking him out there, but also securing blue. So there's the triple cap. I highly doubt that Torment's going to be able to come back here, and that just goes to show that Elevate, not only can they come back from being down, but they're really ruthless when it comes to the objective in the actual strongholds. So not their best performance in the eating strongholds the series before that, but the fact that they, you know, were able to step up in this Empire stronghold says a lot about their team and a lot about their resilience. So Again, Randa going off, 17 kills, 6 secures. Let's look at Brainstorm with the 13, Nemesis with 13, VTech with 14, Exemplify and Baby J with 8 and 9, and that's as many as Randa had combined. So that's a really good job from Randa, you know, able to be aggressive with the objective but still get that amount of kills that he got. Swish and Eccentric rounding up with 14 and 13. So you know, pretty impressive the fact that they were able to, again, to weather the storm when it came to that triple cap, get that pit control, and able to hold it. And whoever holds the pit is going to be able to win that game type, and that's just what it comes down to. Why are all the washed up Halo pros casters now? Thanks, man. I actually think that I could easily be on one of the best teams in Halo 5. Not necessarily easily, it would take a lot of playing, but I just don't know if I want to continue to do that for another 5 years, man. I've done it for so long that I think it's just time for me to move on. I have a lot of other opportunities out there. Obviously, casting's a passion of mine. It's on ESL if they want to do something about it, but you know, to me, either way, I enjoy getting on here and talking to people, casting, and shooting the shit with the community. So that's kind of all that matters to me. I think the most important thing that I miss that I want to bring back are the LAN tournaments that, you know, you have these interactions with people that, you know, finally saved up enough money to get to events, or they're just like, you know, they got a sponsor or whatever it is, but it's their first event ever, or they haven't seen, you know, each other in a couple of years or a couple of months. And that's kind of what I miss the most, because those interactions are, you know, pretty much the most memorable things about Halo. So for me, that's one of the things that I wish would come back, and I think that's one of the things missing in the community. But at the same time, you know, we go and hold a $3,000 LAN tournament at ESA in Santa Ana, and 2 teams show up, one of them being Optic. So I think that, you know, it's pretty disappointing, but at the same time, we need the community to show up. All right, so we're hopping on board CTF Coliseum. Elevate is up 2-1 in the series right now, and you know, I wouldn't doubt if they came out hot in this game as well. This is one of those game types that takes a lot of slang power. It's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be really hard for them to come back when Elevate has so much momentum. But we're gonna find out what kind of team Torment it is right now, and probably in the first 5 minutes of this game. So Swish doing a really nice job of being aggressive, going up top pyramid and making his way towards the flag, while Elevate is spawning towards the elbow. But Rockets are on the side of Elevate, and Nemesis takes him down. But the flag got pretty far, and Exemplify and Eccentric both picking up kills. So it's a 2-2 now. 3 players down for Torment. Most likely going to be able to get that flag return on the side of Elevate, and Swish going to make his way in towards the cave. I like this play, constantly just pushing snipe side. You can't just push rocket side in this situation. And again, fighting Randa over here. Randa just jumping off the map. I'm really curious why he didn't thrust. I wonder if he used his thrust before that. But either way, this map is all about battling towards snipe control, and if your teammates do have snipe control, there's nothing wrong with sitting in your window or going up top rockets and getting that type of control. But as you can see, instead of Swish pushing towards the snipe side while he has an enemy player in his base, he wants to clear out the people in his base first. So if someone is pushing elbow side, typically you have an internal clock on when you know someone's going to be going for your flag, to just scale right towards the snipe side. I'm shocked that Swish was able to get that back smack on that player that was crouching with the scatter shot, and it looks like they are going to be able to push this flag. So as I was saying, the first couple minutes of this game are so imperative because of the fact that Elevate came out with so much momentum and was able to win that game 100-34, which really isn't close. So the fact that they were able to get this capture, really big. Keep in mind that they did win the first map, which was capture the flag, so these guys know what they're doing when it comes to flag, and know that they have to come back and secure the caps, but also be aggressive and get the slays that they need to as well. So really impressive that Torment was able to weather the storm and come back, and has you know, maintained focus throughout this series, which I really like to see, because I want these games to be as competitive as possible. So with that being said, it looks like Elevate is going to try to get this flagpole, and that looks like VTech who's making his way towards the base, but gets the flag tossed out not as far as he would have liked. Would have liked that to fall bottom center, so his teammates could get the angles to get the kills. But a nice reset nonetheless coming out from the side of Torment, and those rockets are up. So the spawners that are spawning on the elbow are most likely going to make their way towards it. Typically teams are going to bait these rockets before they go for them, and that's exactly what we saw. So let's see what's going on up here, and Nemesis picks up these rockets. So again, the players that spawn the flag and the elbow are going to be the ones that want to go for the rockets, not the people that are spawning in the caves and snipe side. You don't want to have to commit all the way across the map right there, but Nemesis not able to hold those rockets, and let's see who ends up picking them up. Eccentric, so those are death rockets. Whoever picks them up is going to die. guy, most likely. And let's see if VTech carries that around. So not one of those rockets got any kills, which is pretty interesting and pretty rare. So just like to point that out. But VTech making his way towards the snipe side, trying to maintain control for his team here. That's 2 players down. Really nice splinter grenade. That's a double kill. That's a huge double kill coming out from VTech because it looks like Swish is the last guy alive, and he's staying in the cave, and he's going to be dead. So Nick making his way towards this cave, gets the kill on the player under the base, lands the no-scope on the guy on the elbow, but Hunter Schlein, Baby J, getting those kills on the guys in his base, pretty big. That was a huge opportunity for Elevate to come in and potentially set up for flag capture. Not only set up for the flag capture, but if they were able to get that capture and maintain control, that could have potentially led to a double capture, because sometimes people aren't aware that they need to just give up the capture, break ties with their losses, and just try to reset and regain map control. So again, they still kind of do have map control based on what was going on in the spawn cycle that we saw, but most likely Torment is going to be able to defend and hold these guys off. But Nick doing everything he can to prove me wrong here, making his way towards the cave, gets a nice little killing spree, and that was a quick killing spree. Obviously the communication is really on point for the sides of Elevate right now, and they are able to get that setup that we were talking about. So let's see if they're able to not only just get 1 cap, but if they're able to possibly secure 2. And Nemesis, after missing that first shot, nice job recovering and getting that second shot. A little too much focused on that guy on the elbow here, but to be able to pick up another kill, he is. So that's 3 players down now, and like I said, they were able to just get this capture and maintain map control. So this could potentially mean more for Elevate if they can get back over to help Nemesis and help Kyle on the snipe side, so we can get back into the cave. And if they just keep flooding up on the side of Torment towards top rockets, then it's going to be ugly. But Baby J, again, coming up huge and getting the kill on that sniper guy. Let's hop on board with him. It looks like he got the scatter shot and picked up 2 kills. So almost single-handedly there, able to come back for his team and get map control. He's going to fight the rocket guy, so makes the rocket guy waste a rocket. Let's hop on board with Nick, who gets a double kill. That's a triple kill right there. So huge coming out from the side of Tech 9. Is that going to be an over? Oh man, Scumbag Nemesis taking the overkill, but he's going to run the flag. So Nemesis running the OBJ and getting kills at the same time. Looks like Hunter, Baby J, is going to try to get this desperation pull. So let's go on board with him. Looks like he is going to be able to get it. Randa is chasing him. He's going to have 2 players on him. Does whatever he can, just lands the melee on Randa so Exemplify can finish that kill off. And hey, he did a good job. That's a really nice job from Baby J to get that flag pull. Spawns on the elbow so he can help his team. And now they have to desperate for this flag. And it's just about can Torment get angles in order to stop this. And no, they can't. Looks like Elevate should be able to put this one in. Let's see who's got it. They haven't been able to put it in yet. I wonder how the flag got down onto the base. So that means that pressure, instead of going and stopping their own flag, Swish and the other guys decided that they wanted to go for the return. So I actually like that play, the fact that they were able to get that pull and actually prevent Elevate from getting the cap and force them under their base. And let's kind of just hop on board Y mode to see what's going on, because it's just a battle for the flag here. It looks like Elevate getting the slays that they need, get the return, and this is going to be 2-1 in favor of Elevate. So that was a really crazy back and forth battle. Brainstorm making his way towards the rockets. Looks like he's not going to be contested. I think Tony's going to be a little too late. He's going to be able to get a kill on Swish right here. Swish able to dodge both those rockets. You can bet your ass that this guy's going to chase him from top here. It looks like Eccentric forgot about him and is focused on this guy's snipe side. So instead of prioritizing the rocket kill, decides he wants to kill someone up snipe side. I'm not really sure if I agree with that play. If I was Eccentric, I probably would have stayed off radar and just forced that rocket guy to stay under the wing right there in the bottom center. Rocket is really important in this map, but wow, I can't believe that got a kill. Brainstorm, nice killing spree. And again, the rockets are so important that you don't ever want to, try to prioritize a guy without a weapon compared to a guy that does have a weapon, because this type of stuff is going to happen to you. They're going to pull the flag. Randa trying to keep his shields, making his way over here. This is the last capture, and it looks like that's going to be 1 dead. That's Baby J that's dead. 21 kills for Tech 9, and that should be game right there. And that's series 3-1 in the game, 3-1 in the series. And again, we saw the same thing out of Elevate the series before. They go down 1-0 in the series, but yet they come back and win 3 in a row. So I'm not sure if it's they just have slow starts or whatever it is, but once they're given an advantage, once you make a mistake, they're really good at capitalizing on that, and other people have to be aware that they need to be focused on not giving up these power weapons and easy camos and overshields to Elevate, otherwise they're going to lose. So let's take a look at the kills really quick. I'm going to back this one up and take a look at the final cap. Randa making his way in, and let's just take a look at the setup. You have all of these guys just watching all of the angles. They're all going to have to flood over towards this rocket side and just desperate. So they already have a guy in the elbow. They already have a guy in the window. They already have a guy top snipe. This is the perfect way to secure a setup, because look at all these guys are just going to get pegged. There's nothing that they can do. They have to desperate it the entire time, and this guy's not even looking at the right spot, and they still are able to secure this cap. Not one person from Elevate was even looking in the right spot in that scenario. They were able to even charge. Someone could have probably just jumped from top rockets to the window, and they could have potentially stopped the flag there. But the fact that they had so many people and they were in the right positions, even they were in the right positions and not looking the right way, they still were able to secure that capture. So taking a look at the kills, Brainstorm 17, Randa 9, VTech 21, getting tons of kills with the weapons, and Nemesis with 20, taking a look at Swish 12, Baby J 13, and Exemplify 13, and Eccentric 10. So, again, hats off to Elevate. They move on. Very impressive gameplay coming out from both teams. They obviously know what they're doing. Just that one mistake in that Truth Slayer, giving that camo to Brainstorm, is the difference between being up 2-0 in the series and having all the momentum in the world compared to losing the series 3-1. So to me, that was again the turning point, and we're gonna hop on board with Elevate still and see who they're gonna end up playing next series. I don't think anything's really wrong with Truth's TS. Maybe take the fuel rod back out and put the plasma caster there. That could potentially work, but I don't really think there's much wrong with Truth Slayer. I think that's a pretty competitive game type. I would just say maybe put the plasma caster back to top center. There wasn't really it wasn't really necessary to replace it with the fuel rod. Sometimes I feel like they're just looking to change things just to change things, honestly. Yeah, I agree. Everyone kind of feels the same way about the fuel rod. So this guy says camo should go top mid and put a combo down where the camo is. That could work. I mean, camo pink 1's okay. You could do anything really. I mean, the combo could go top center. I mean, the combo could go bottom center. I'm just not really sure the fuel rod is necessary, because it's just it's such a powerful weapon that it's so hard to already retake map control that when you add that into the mix, it makes it even harder. I don't know why you guys are getting owned by Nightbot, sorry. Nightbot just owning people right now. Yeah, put Prophet's Pain. How about we get let's get the Whiplash Railgun top center. How about that? Talk about OP. Is the French Toast Mafia series going on right now? Alright guys, I need some water. This takes a lot of vocal energy. I'll be back. Alright guys, it looks like Rob the Turtle wants some French Toast Mafia action because they're about to play, so we will hop into that series, but let me get some water. Alrighty. So one thing that I would like to point out too is that I feel like the Challenger League and the Pro League should be on the same day, because it takes so much for the Challenger players to have to invest their time into like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that I feel like the Challenger League, I understand that the EU is going on during the day and stuff like that, but what if it was like EU was Thursday, Friday, and then the HCS Pro League was Saturday, Sunday, and then we had the Challenger League that led up to the Pro League, so everyone's kind of getting hyped up and it's just like all day Halo. Personally, that's what I would like to see, but whatever, I don't run things. LAN tournaments for sure, dude. I mean, supposedly 343 said that they took feedback in for me that I think that LAN tournaments are quote unquote stupid. I don't think I would ever use those words, first of all, but what I did tell them was that I personally couldn't afford an H2A to pay, not only just pay for my own stuff, which was expensive, which is fine, I don't mind paying for my own stuff, but then you have teammates who are like, oh man, I'm broke, I can't pay for the hotel, or man, I can't pay for my flight, and then I'm paying for the coach's flight. Next thing you know, I'm paying for 3 freaking flights plus the hotel, and I'm making like $100 over the weekend, and it's like, oh, do I really want to continue to like make other people money while I'm losing money? No, I don't. So I gave them feedback that there shouldn't be so many LAN tournaments in order to qualify, because what's the point of having all these small LAN tournaments and having to pay for all of our own stuff, plus paying for other people's stuff, plus there's not enough prize money to be in it. So if I knew that there was going to be more prize money invested into it, and if they have the budget to do those things, I wouldn't have said what I said, right? So I hate when my words are taken out of context, because I would never say anything like that. Let's see who these guys are playing. Alright, so we're going to hop into the French Toast Mafia series. Let's take a look at the updated bracket. Looks like it's going to be French Toast Mafia versus Don't Chase Me, Bro.
Capture the
so, I want to see who these guys are playing, though. So, ooh, this is a good game, too. That's a good series, but we're not going to take a look at that one because we're not going to support anything coming from Lifestyle. Alright, let's see who we have. Alright, I'm waiting to spectate through Rami. I don't show any love to people that don't show up for the tournament. It's a bitch move. Do I like this game? Yeah, I like this game. So this is going to be, I think it's Turley, Blakers, Rob the Turtle, and Triton. And this should be a really good series. This is going to be French Toast Mafia versus Don't Chase Me, Bro. So let's see what's going on here. I think it's going to be the same game types as before. So CTF Fathom, Slayer, Truth, Empire Strongholds, Coliseum Flag. I'm not sure what game 5 is.
Capture the flag.
Yep, we're right. Same game types. Alright, so before we hop into this one, let's talk a little bit about the teams. Obviously, French Toast Mafia, one of the favorites to potentially make it in either Knockout, Optic, or Liquid. When the opportunity comes for them to try to make it out of the Challenger Series into the actual Pro League. So we take a look at the actual teams here, and it's Gabriel, Cloud, Rami, and Falcated versus Turley, Blakers, Triton, and Rob the Turtle. Now, keep in mind that this French Toast Mafia team has been playing together and is the higher seed, so they're definitely a favorite going into this, but if Rob the Turtle, Triton, and Blakers and Turley can put it together, it would definitely be a really big momentum boost for them and also a big upset at the same. So now that we have a little bit of storyline in here, let's hop on board and we'll kick it off with Rami, who I enjoyed teaming with this guy until the assault play happened, but has nothing to do with Rami actually. So Rami making his way towards bottom center to contest the railgun. Rob the Turtle making his way towards the treehouse and looking bottom center at the same time. So railgun control coming out from Turley. I really like to see that. French Toast Mafia getting control right off the get-go, and it looks like the engine spawns are still available, but a nice grenade from Turley is going to weaken 2 players in the engine while the rest of French Toast Mafia is spawning in the silos. So Turley, even though he lost the railgun, did a really good job of weakening those guys in the engine. Just a pretty fortunate spawn there for the French Toast Mafia. You need to make sure that you do control that engine and make sure they are spawning in the silos. So 2 players down. Looks like Rami is alive in the base, so they weren't able to get that kill, and Gabriel is alive too, but Turley, really nice shots. Rami's falling as well. Those players are definitely spawning on the silo. Gonna pick up the storm rifle here and try to stop Cloud, who's making his way towards the base. Cloud is the last guy alive. That could potentially stop this cap. He's most likely going to try to get the pull. He doesn't. So there it goes. French Toast Mafia is down 1-0. And it looks like another flag being pulled from Blakers. Holy cow, let's hop on board with Blakers. They're trying to go for a double cap here. Is he going to be able to throw it in there and get the long toss? I'm not really sure. Let's Y mode and see if he was able to get that off. He wasn't able to get the long toss. So if he was able to get the long toss, a potential double cap coming right here. Felcated trying to get this return. Is he able to get the return? He's not. It's still there. There it is. There's the return. So let's hop on board with Cloud, who we just saw fighting bottom center. He gets a kill on that guy. So really nice job from Blakers getting that pull, but if he was able to get that long toss, messes up on the long toss, could have been a double cap. 2-0, a minute and a half into the game. That would have been absolutely huge. French Toast Mafia would have been pooping their pants at that point, but it's only 1-0, a lot different, more than 2-0, and Cloud is top center. So Cloud in good position here for when camo and railgun are coming up. Typically you want to try to let your teammates control the railgun area, try to get that camo and then drop down. That would be ideal. But let's hop on board with Rob, who's at the base right now. Rob the Turtle, one of the most underrated players, getting that return, and is looking now for players that are running into the treehouse. So it looks like they are trying to run this one in. This could be 2-0. Rob the Turtle is adding tons of pressure here. Is he going to make his way towards top center, or is he going to make his way towards the flag? Sees a player weak here in the treehouse, make his way onto Cloud. Misses the melee. Cloud is one shot though, and look at these guys just playing extremely aggressive. 2 players for French Toast Mafia at the base, but the fact that these guys are top center doesn't really mean much. So Rob the Turtle realizes that and makes his way in towards the base. Probably should just pull this and then just leave it, but ends up he's gonna toss it. He gets spotted, so obviously he can't continue to run that. Waits for his shields. That's 2 players down. This is his chance right now. It needs to dodge those grenades. Doesn't dodge the grenades. If he would have just slow played that and choked that spawn on the elbow just a little bit longer and waited for Turley to come with the railgun, it could have been curtains. That could have been game 1 right there. But they're up 2-0. French Toast Mafia on the ropes right now. Rob the Turtle just chucking nades, hitting a player, getting those hit markers in the red treehouse. He's Cloud over here in the silo as well. The player that he hit with the nade gets called out and taken out. That was Falcated, making his way towards Cloud down. These guys are just trucking through the map, and I really like to see this coming out from a team that is, you know, such a big underdog compared to French Toast Mafia, like I said, who's been together for a while, who's also won one of these tournaments in the Legendary Cup. So really impressive start from these guys. Let's continue to hop on board with them and see if they're able to finish this one out. But knowing that they're playing against these guys, you got to know that they're going to come back and fight. It's not going to get any easier from this point on out. And 2 kills now for the side of Don't Chase Me Bro. Kind of like that name. If you guys don't know the Don't Tase Me Bro video, go check that one out. But anyway, Turley making his way towards the elbow, playing a little bit of defense here. Sees 2 of his players top center, so he knows that he can get aggressive on this guy. Not sure what he was really looking at right there, but still nonetheless getting that kill on Rami. And if you guys didn't know, Rami was playing in the HCS Pro League, subbing for Allegiance for Ryanoob there, and did a hell of a job in that last game on that Plaza Strongholds, getting that killing frenzy, getting that triple kill with the stick and the shotgun. So obviously, you know, these guys very individually skilled, but it comes down to the team game here, and these guys on the side of Don't Chase Me Bro have the railgun, they have the momentum, they have the lead, and it's just a matter of closing it out for them. So Blakers over there at the flag ends up there 2 down now for the side of French Toast Mafia. They should be able to get this pull, and Turley should be able to just help secure this cap. He picks up the battle rifle. All he has to do is pretty much secure this cap. He just needs to sit in exactly in the window where he is. There's 2 people down though. Blakers died with the flag, so the fact that Blakers wasn't able to push that one out all the way means Turley has to move with his positioning now. He has to no longer try to secure the cap, but has to try to get the slays. So I really like the fact that he's having this situational awareness, and Blakers pushing this one in. Turley, is he going to be able to finish this one? Looks like he is. 3-0. Free don't chase me, bro. What a game. And French Toast Mafia probably doesn't know where to hit him. That was a fast game. Let's take a look at the kills. Rob the Turtle with 14, Turley with 12, Triton with 10, Blakers with 7, Ramy with 9, Cloud with 8, Falcated with 7, Gabriel with 6. So again, hats off to those guys, but that is only one game, and it is a best of 5. So we're going to hop into this next game that will be Truth Slayer. Now, if they are able to go up 2-0 in the series, that is going to be huge for them. So again, the beginning of this next game is really important. Just as we saw the beginning of last game was really important. This opening strategies for Halo 5 are more important than really any other Halo in Halo history because of the fact that there's so many additional mechanics when it comes to the thrusting and how fast you're able to move throughout the map. Alright, let's see what's going on. Let's see if this game has started yet. It looks like it has, so we're going to spectate through Ramy's point of view. And, what's your opinion when 343 added aim down sight? Are you talking about just zooming in, Dark Ones?
Slayer.
The sad thing is I'm exhausted right now. I don't even know how I'm talking. Alright, so Truth Slayer, if you guys don't know, Fuel Rod top center, Camo still bottom center here, and the battle rifles have been moved. So there's no longer the battle rifles in the window, and I know people are saying that they think that it makes it harder for teams to push out. I think it's good because we saw the meta being teams just camping inside the windows on both bases and holding pink control and forcing them carbine. And when you're spawning carbine with just a pistol, it makes it really hard. So I think the thought process that they had here, and I told them that they should actually explain why they're doing things and justify things, but we haven't seen that yet. But I think that they're just trying to actually give more power back towards Pink 2 and take it out of the actual bases, which I like to see. So I like the changes. I just think that we should take the fuel rod at top center. Anyway, let's kick it off with Gabriel making his way towards the pink side. And keep in mind that I think, when you charge up Pink 2 like that, you gotta just not go right in. You want to try to do what Nemesis, what we've seen Nemesis do, and hold the side. But he doesn't get taken out by those grenades and ends up picking that camo up, which was at 46. So Blakers killing the camo guy is going to be pretty big. We're going to stay on board with Gabriel, as it is a 4-1 lead now for French Toast Mafia. So a nice job coming out hot after losing that first game and holding pink control here. Let's see what Don't Chase Me Bro can do this to take this back. And they obviously have to push out pink side like I've been saying all day. So it's important to spread out, get into the window, get into car side, but also send out 2 guys pink side, or maybe 1 guy goes top center from the window. That's always a nice play as well to try to get these guys. But Gabriel playing pretty aggressive, challenging these guys. Not necessarily the best play. You could probably back off a little bit and just wait for your help from pink side before you have to actually go in. But at least Cloud is there to pick up those kills on the weak players. So staying on board with Gabriel here. He doesn't really know which way to look. Sees the guy pink 2, and that guy gets taken out. And again, I'm expecting him to play pretty aggressive after seeing that play. I'm curious to see if he's willing to continue to give up deaths like that, because you want to try to eliminate as many deaths as possible. Rob the Turtle with a really nice grenade, and we're going to hop on board with him because he's the one that told us to watch this series, so he might be feeling confident and pretty good. Ends up leaving that kill, which I like. I like the fact that he left that kill for his teammate. His teammate actually doesn't get the kill, but he was able to just lay down shots across the map. You see a lot of people just tunnel vision and start chasing that kill, but not Rob. He was able to prioritize kills and also even weakens that player with the grenade there. So I really love that awareness, and I love that unselfish play that he realizes, hey, this guy on my team, he's more than capable of killing a one-shot guy when he's full of shields. I'm going to help the rest of my guys out across the map. And now Blakers doing work with the fuel rod. So let's hop on board with Blakers and see what he's doing. Looks like he's car side, and I believe he probably has about 7 shots in that fuel rod if it's fully loaded. 6 shots now. So not able to get that kill on that guy right there. That is Ramy. He does get the kill on Ramy. Kind of a wild first shot, but I love the aggressive play there. But the thing is he needs help at that point. He needs help from Rob top center, or he needs someone else to collapse on pink side. So again, if you're gonna fly in like that, you need to be able to hit your shots and clean those guys up, and you also need to make sure that the fuel rod isn't actually weakening yourself, because they're used to actually trade, but a fortunate spawn puts the fuel rod right back in his hands, and it's only a 1-kill game. So Blaker's gonna just slow play this one now, and this is what I like. You don't want to be the first guy to make a move when you have the weapon, and there it is right there, the camo guy. Oh, he ends up killing himself somehow. I guess that fuel rod hit the ground, which is an absolutely huge play. That's really unfortunate for Blakers. He should have been able to kill that camo guy, and instead ends up killing himself. Gabriel now gets 2 kills, so that's a 3-kill swing, and now he ends up getting another death, so potential 4-kill swing just off that one play, and Gabriel picking up another kill. So he ends up trading, but a 4-kill swing because of the fact that he was committing suicide with that fuel rod. So I actually haven't seen much of that, and I don't think Blakers has either. Blaker's a very strong free throw player, really used to using the fuel rods, so surprised that happened. Wasn't really expecting that. Could have been a little bit of lag. Either way, it's only a 1-kill game, and these guys do have pink control, so we're going to keep on board with Rob the Turtle, who has auto-stabilize on. There's no way that he doesn't, and he has the battle rifle and is holding pink too, and I love the fact that he's dodging the grenades here, and I like that Blakers is there, but one of these guys has to make their way towards pink 3 after they clean up this kill and try to just get some sort of different angles, because they could easily be grenaded or taken out, and when you hear 2 people pink 2, you immediately know that you should actually be prioritizing that and chucking grenades in there. So it's important to spread out and get different angles, but it is nice to know that you have someone watching your back when they're coming up the street there. So Rob spawning, grabs that storm rifle, and is going to make his way towards pink side, and this is what I'm talking about. I love that he's sitting there and using different angles, and he has a teammate P2, a teammate P3, so he decides to go P1, and I love that play from Rob. That's a really smart play. Whoever's pink 3 needs to help out and make sure that these guys aren't getting kills. That's Blakers letting Gabriel get away with one here, so they need to make sure they kill Gabriel. Let's see if they end up getting that kill. There it is. So Camo's coming up soon. They have complete pink control. We're a halfway point through the game, 25 to 25. Whoever's able to pick this one up is going to have a huge advantage. That's going to be Blakers. And I love the way that Rob is making his way around the map, moving and taking angles that his teammates aren't. Blakers dying with the camo is pretty big there. I think that camo was picked up around 47, so we'll keep our eye out on that. Ramy gets the kill. That looks like Rob shot his teammate in the head by accident there. But even though they're down 1, they do have a really good idea on how to play this game type. The fact that they have pink control and are able to constantly weather the storm when these guys are pushing is a really good sign. It's just a matter of who's going to be able to run away with this one. I wouldn't doubt if this one ended up going down to a 50-45 or even closer than that. So you see a player pink 2. Blakers didn't know that guy was there, didn't see him on the radar, ends up getting picked up across the map. That's Ramy that was pink 2, and Felkade shot him from across the map. So, ooh, a big, oh man, big play right there, and it looks like Rob the Turtle ran out of pistol ammo. That's how many shots he was laying down across the map, and that's what I was talking about. Whoever's going to be able to get the slays and get control is going to be able to run away with this one. Camo's not coming up for another minute, so it's a really good opportunity for French Toast Mafia just to constantly slay and not necessarily have to worry about, you know, the other team getting camo and potentially coming back. So they should be able to continue to build on this lead, and even if they don't build on this lead, at least be able to trade kills from here on out, and that seems the way that this game's going to kind of continue to go. And Cloud ended up getting a double kill there, so that's a 7-kill lead now, and Camo's coming up in about 40 seconds. So whoever maintains the pink control is going to have a huge advantage, but if you're French Toast Mafia and then you at least burn this camo, then that's a really good opportunity to at least win the game. But if you're on the side of don't chase me, bro, there's no way that you're going to come back and win this game unless you clear out pink 2 and at least, you know, get the camo for yourself. You can't afford to burn it when you only need 12 kills on the other team to win. So going back and looking at, you know, the fuel rod play that Blakers had when he actually killed himself, that was a pretty big momentum swing, and even though that's 11 kills now, it was a 4-kill momentum swing, and that's all of that French Toast Mafia needed to kind of run away with this one. It's not over yet. It is still a 10-kill game. Ramy making his way towards car side here, but like I said, there's no reason that we can assume that they're going to be able to just trade kills here back and forth, because that's kind of what we've seen all game. It would be a pretty major mess up if French Toast Mafia was to let this one run away, and you would assume, you know, with them being one of the number 1 seed coming into this tournament, that they wouldn't mess up a lead like this. But with that being said, these guys are making a really nice comeback. It's now a 6-kill lead, and Blakers making his way towards Carside doesn't realize that everybody on French Toast Mafia is crouching around him, and that is Felkade with the fuel rod. Ends up trading kills with the fuel rod guy, which is good. Huge stick on Ramy, so that was a really nice trade. Instead of a 6-kill lead, it's now a 5-kill lead. But like I said, they can't really afford to trade any type of kills. Even if they were to trade 3 for 2 the rest of the way on, that wouldn't really do them much because after it would be, 43 to 50 at that point. So need to make sure that everyone kind of sets up here, doesn't get any deaths, and that's exactly what they're doing. And a really nice job, 42 to 45 right here. Let's see if they're able to maintain pin control. You can't even really afford one death right here. Whoever's under the base, Austin, Turley, everybody, they have to allocate all the resources to helping him right here. He should at least be calling out 2 people on my radar and doing his best to stay alive. But Rami's somehow getting a fuel rod kill. So he was able to pick up that fuel rod that came off Felcated's body, and the fact that he was able to get that kill without having to drop down is pretty big. So 3-kill lead. They still have fuel rod on the side of French Toast Mafia, and Cloud under the base being a nuisance. That guy Pink 2 is most likely going to live to clean him up. Camel's coming up in about 30 seconds here, but I don't think that's going to be enough time for these guys to be able to get it. 47 to 43. Blagrits gets taken out there, and that was all because Cloud was able to lay those shots on from top of the, or from under the base. So let's hop on board with Cloud here with the Storm Rifle. Made his way all the way from the opposite under the base to all the way over here. It's 49 to 44 here, and they most likely will be able to secure this one. Camo's coming up really soon, and that's going to be game. So, I go back and I look at a couple of things. I look at Turley under the base and Rami having the fuel rod, nobody picking that fuel rod up off of his dead body, off Felcated's dead body. And I also look at the fact that Blakers accidentally killed himself with the fuel rod, which was a 4-kill swing, right? So if that 4-kill swing could have went in the favor of Don't Chase Me, Bro, then it could have been, potentially 48 to maybe 45 in their favor. They could be looking at going up 2-0 in the series. So really unfortunate turn of events for those guys. And we saw the stats right there. We're not going to go over them because we don't want to fall too behind in this series. I believe that the next games are already starting. Yeah, Elevate's been looking really strong. Yeah, what up, Zeke? I can just talk really fast because it's just easy for me. I just know, I'm not even thinking about what I'm saying, I'm just saying it. Played a lot of Halo, and a lot of Halo 5. No, the camo guy didn't have fuel rod. The camo guy was unaware that the fuel rod guy was above him, and Blakers shot, it looked like lag to me, but he shot the bottom of like the lip there and ended up killing himself. There's no way that they had 2 fuel rods on the map. Just break into the studio. Good idea. I don't have a kid. It gave him a fuel rod kill, which doesn't happen if it happened with a suicide. I'm telling you, man, it was definitely, there was no way that there was 2 fuel rods on the table there. It was definitely a suicide. Are you sure? Either way, the fact that he didn't kill that guy was a huge momentum swing. I don't know how they had 2 fuel rods. That's crazy. Alright, so anyway, let's kick it off. Let's go Umpire Strongholds. We don't want to fall too far behind here. It's 1-1 right now, and it looks like Turley's making his way outside for this overshield. And this is always a really fun fight. It's always a really fair fight, so I like the fact that the overshield was moved outside of the pit. But it looks like they aren't able to get this here. So continuing to bait it. I'm not sure who's going to pick that up, but both side bases were captured, and it looks like French Toast Mafia is going to be able to secure that overshield, which should give them the pit. So let's hop on board with someone from their team. It looks like Rami gets the pit with these guys and spreads out immediately to go for this triple cap as well as the overshield guys. So even though they are going to get this triple cap, it's not going to be for long. Whether that's not even going to be for a second, actually, it's just going to be a double cap. No points for Don't Chase Me, Bro, even though they did have it for a split second. It looks like they're all making their way towards pit, but somehow they get the reset on that, which is a really big reset because that was about halfway. So Rami's sitting in there on the corner doing a really nice job of forcing that guy out to try to kill him, as well as Blakers right there as well. So really nice play of Rami, making sure they get the reset. Also nice awareness to shoot that barrel and get that kill. And it looks like Don't Chase Me Bro is doing exactly what I was saying, is most teams are going to try to want to push outside here. About 70 to 80% of the time, they're going to make their way outside to go for that side base and try to get both the side bases and then kind of make their way towards the pit. So expect that to happen here. Once they get the kills and slays on this, then they can potentially push towards the pit. But most likely you want to try to get into that side base and then just kind of force them in the tower and then kind of make your way towards the pit while shooting them outside, and then make, because you can't hold both side bases for the entire game. Eventually you have to go for the pit. But I'm curious to see if these guys are going to ever overextend like we saw in that Elevate series when they just charged. But Rami, not aware that these guys are spawning on top of the platform. That's their opportunity right here for Don't Chase Me Bro to potentially get the pit. Rami should have definitely been looking on the platform, but I know that he heard some callouts coming out from the side, which made him look over to the side. But at the same time, 3 people for Don't Chase Me Bro, all 4 people for Don't Chase Me Bro end up dying. So they sacrificed their life for the pit. Rami making his way towards the saw. That overshield is coming up at about 47, I believe. So it looks like Rami's going to try to stop. Okay. So Rami gets the saw. He's going to get the reset on this, but he needs to make his way towards outside at this point. I wouldn't have challenged that right there. I would have probably made it my way towards outside. Gabriel is the one waiting for that overshield. So Blaker said, okay, we're getting triple capped on. I at least need to get this side base instead of going for the overshield. And that's just French Toast Mafia being in really great position. Even though Rami did try to, maybe made a mistake and went towards that guy, pushing towards the Zig, he could have, went outside and helped towards the overshield. His teammates were still in such a great position that it really didn't even matter. So let's stay on board with Rami here, because everywhere he's running, it seems to be the right spot. So Rami moving in towards the base, and they are really aggressive on collapsing this because they're realizing that they don't necessarily need an anchor. So if you're not going to anchor your base at all, then there's nothing really wrong with flooding in from all different angles. If you want to flood in from front of the base, outside, and all those things, that's fine. As long as you are communicating to your team that you've left that base and that they are going to be spawning at that base. So Don't Chase Me Bro, not able to keep up with these guys constantly rotating, and the communication is just so hectic in this. It's just so hard to actually communicate on what you want to actually do. You have to have a plan before you even go into the game, and being such a new team going against a team that's been around for this long, even though it's maybe been 3 or 4 weeks compared to 3 or 4 days, they already have an idea on how they want to actually come back and retake control of this game type. So it's going to be really hard for these guys if they don't get this pit right here to even stand a chance, but they end up getting the side bases and they get the pit. So this is their opportunity. Let's see how long they can hold this. Not just the triple cap, but let's see how long they can actually hold the double cap, because obviously they're going to spawn here, they're going to capture this blue base, and it's up to Austin Turley to make sure that he stays alive. And this is what I was talking about. Let's go on Turley's point of view. This is what I'm talking about. This is a prime spot to be right here, because you can just be a nuisance in front of the base, and sitting at the battle rifle spot where that battle rifle would spawn is huge, but you want to do a better job of staying alive right there. So they are still scoring, but overshield's coming up and they do have control. So this is a good opportunity to either, do you get these guys out of the pit or do you go for the overshield here? I think after you get hit by that grenade, you need to make sure that you secure the overshield. So French Toast Mafia putting them in a pretty crappy situation, but either way, Turley able to get the overshield, does the glitch right there. I'm not sure if they agreed to do the glitch or not, but he would not have been able to secure that if he didn't do the glitch right there. But Falcated has the combo and does take down the overshield. So a really nice job by Falcated to negate that overshield. 2-on-2, no way you can get the pit in a 2-on-2 situation. So advantage to French Toast Mafia. They are scoring. They only need 25 more points, and they've done such a good job of not only holding their setup, but also stopping the pit from when Don't Chase Me wants to actually go for it. So as I say that, Don't Chase Me, of course, picks up the pit, but how long can they hold this? They were only able to hold it for about 15 seconds before, or 15 points before. They need to hold this almost the rest of the way if they want to win. You can't really afford to give French Toast Mafia any more momentum. You can't afford them to give any more points. They already have 79 points. So it's so imperative that Turley, again, stays alive just like before. These guys are in the pit, and he doesn't know this guy's there. He does know the guy's there. So nice reset. Maybe even go for the triple cap. This could be a time to go for the triple cap. Probably one of his teammates making his way towards that. I love that thrust melee. And instead of going for the triple cap, they decided to hold setup here. So Turley getting top center. I like this play as well. One of his teammates is taken down. And instead of sitting top center because they know they're there, he's going to rotate outside and help on this guy, who is Rami, who gets the kill on Rob the Turtle and the Sneaky. So big kill for Rami. Big kill for French Toast Mafia. Now Gabriel making his way towards the pit. It looks like it's up to Turley to try to stop this one. Turley may not be enough to stop it because there's too many players for French Toast Mafia. All one shot. Rob not able to contest that and not able to know that those guys are no shields, and Scotty Cloud in position to help finish the rest of those kills off. So looks like Turley's going to have to just settle for taking his B base, but he has Gabriel here on the side. Gabriel gets the reset. That's a big reset because they are triple capping. Overshield's coming up soon, so the fact that they got that reset probably means they're going to secure this overshield. So let's hop on board with someone from the red team who should be making their way outside for the overshield. I'm not sure when exactly that time was, but it looks like that's going to be Gabriel, who is making his way to fight Triton, or Turley, who... Is that Triton or Turley? I can't tell. Either way, Triton. Okay, he's fighting Triton, but... either way, Gabriel on top of that overshield, that's really important, and that triple cap put them in such a good position that, they end up capturing the pit. So the fact that they weren't able to secure that overshield is actually a really big deal because they were able to capture the pit here. And now there's no way in hell that Don't Chase Me Bro can give up any more points. They have to hold this the rest of the time. But again, French Toast Mafia, every time that these guys get the pit, they can't hold it, and there it is right there. 100 to 46, taking a look at the kills. Triton with only 5. That's not what you want to see out of him. 14 for Rob the Turtle. Turley with 12. Blakers with 12. Felcade with 16. Gabriel with 12. Cloud with 16. And Rami with 12. And I am sweating up in here. Holy cow, it's hot. All right, so that's 2-1 in the series. French Toast Mafia in the lead. We're moving into Coliseum Flag, and we've seen so many times where these teams are winning the first game and end up losing 3 straight. So I'd really like to see potentially Don't Chase Me Bro putting up a nice fight in here. They obviously did really great in that first CTF, winning 3-0, but just that small mistake with the fuel rod or not killing that camo guy, lack thereof, and also not being experienced enough just in Empire Strongholds as a whole, and maybe Triton individually not doing that great that game, is a reason why now they're down 2-1 in the series. So, hats off to French Toast Mafia, obviously doing what they should be doing, but it doesn't mean that, Rob the Turtle and these guys from Don't Chase Me Bro don't have what it takes to actually come back and win this thing. So let's hop into Game 4. It's going to be Coliseum CTF. Thank you guys for the shout outs. I'm glad you guys enjoy the casting. It's not my best day. I'm pretty sweaty, but glad you guys are enjoying it. It's all about having fun. I'm sure you guys are bored too.
Capture the flag.
Or we're bored. Hopefully you're not bored anymore. Ooh. But yeah, really quick, if you guys are enjoying it, make sure you follow the stream. That's all I ask. Alright, so this is all about snipe control. You want to try to get in the enemy cave and force them into the elbow, but the thing is if you don't have snipe control, there's really nothing wrong with forcing that elbow cap and, kind of throwing people off so they have to overcommit. So I like the fact that Rob made his way towards the snipe, ends up securing it, and is going to look towards the rocket side here. Gabriel making his way towards the rockets. Rob, really nice shots. Doesn't get the headshot, but at least hits 2 body shots and picks up the double kill. That was disgusting. Please get the triple, Rob, for the love of God. Alright, so Rob doesn't get the triple. He disappoints us all. But that was a sick double kill. Love the fact that immediately when he gets that sniper, he looks towards the rockets, but I'm really curious on where those rockets went and who's in position to grab those. So the flag is being returned, and that is going to be 1 cap already, just like we saw in that first game. These guys are ruthless when it comes to CTF. Don't Chase Me Bro up 1-0. They are down 2-1 in the series, but this game has gone really well for them already, and these guys are absolutely insane when it comes to just getting in towards the enemy base and running that flag while securing the cap. It looks like they're pissed that they lost that last game. That's 3 dead right now. That's all 4 dead, and he's going to pull this snipe side. They're definitely going to be spawning on the elbow. Let's go Y mode here so we can see what the spawners are and who's in position to stop this one. Looks like Mike Falcated is on his way towards the scatter shot area. No one shot him, so he's going to be able to get this clean pull. Rob the Turtle's there. Oh, nice play by Rob to toss that out and not get cleaned up by 1 shot, but his teammates are dying everywhere, so Falcated doing a really nice job of just sneaking across. Rob gets taken out. Those are 2 people now on that flag return. That flag's going to get returned, and a possible counter cap coming out for the red team, so I can't believe no one was able to see that guy sneaking across. We had the opportunity to see him because we went Y mode, but Falcated just a really nice job immediately. Like I said before, if you're the first guy to spawn, you have to either decide, am I going to give up this cap, or am I going to immediately push in towards the enemy base and get the pull? But with that being said, we still do have a flag pulled here. Looks like Blake is trying to get some desperation nades. He's not going to be able to land it. And instead of being a 2-0 lead here, that's now 1-0. All 4 were dead. They knew they were spawning elbow. Just nobody pressured it. And Falcated just pushing into the base. Even if you don't actually cut the spawns off, you at least have to run back and just sit on your elbow and wait for those guys to come around the corner, because they're not going to come from anywhere else besides the elbow into your base, or they're going to come from top rockets or into your window. So you have to just watch out for that and just be aware of that and have to say, hey guys, let's secure this capture. So big mistake right there. Could come back to bite him in the butt. Let's hope not, because we want to see a game 5 in closer series. Looks like Philly does too. He's got the rockets at his base. He gets taken out. Ramy in the back of the base. Is he going to be able to pick up another one? He does. So Ramy, nice job in a 2v1 situation, getting 2 kills there. And it looks like Blakers is going to be looking for those rockets. So let's hop on board with Blakers, see if he can find them. He does. I don't know how many he has left in the chamber. It looks like he has 2. So I would like to see Blakers stay alive with these. Going up the lane is definitely the right move. Shooting a long-range rocket gets the hit marker, so that one hit. And it's definitely worth the trade right there. So he ends up getting that kill that on that guy that was top rockets, or weakening that guy that was top rockets, and then getting a double kill with those rockets. So almost a triple kill right there coming out from Blakers. So really love that play coming out from him. Love the fact that he's again pushing towards the snipe side. Also, some of the things that are really important, as you can see, even though he's getting taken out, is he was at least grenading the angles that people could potentially be coming, but by doing so, he's also showing where he is on the map, because he's throwing the grenades and people are seeing the trajectory, just like we see Ramy throwing a grenade right there. You can assume that he's in the cave. So it's nice to cut off the angles, but also you got to be aware that you're giving up your map position already. So if you're already called out and you know that you've been called out, it's okay to throw the grenades, but typically you want to try to play a little bit sneakier there. And Felcated just constantly doing work. I want to hop on board with Felcated, because not only did he come back and get that flagpole, he's been doing a decent job slaying as well. So let's see what he does off the spawn. Gabriel picking up a kill on Triton, and Felcated sees that his teammate is already pushing at top rocket side, and that's important. When you see someone is already pushing rocket side, you can't just send 2 up there. You have to spread out and clear the guys out of your base and maintain some sort of snipe control, because that guy that's going top rocket side is going to be laying down the fire on the guy's snipe side. It's also his job to try to get into the base and get the flag pull. So I think that's what Cloud did, and there he is right there pulling the flag. So ends up tossing it out all the way to bomb center. I really like that play. He should probably back off here instead of going for this flag, because he's no shields, but he had a player behind him, so he decides that he wants to commit to that, and possibly tossing it up here for Gabriel. No, Ramy said toss it up, but Gabriel said no, I'm going to run this one around, and let's see if they are able to secure this cap. I'm going to stick on Gabriel and go Y mode on the flag and see if anyone's coming in around. Oh, nice splinter grenade. He decides that he can't even go for this because that splinter grenade was so good, but no one's really in position here. They say, all right, give this one up, let's go snipe side, let's secure the cap. They end up giving it up, and instead of being potentially 2-1 now in their favor for Don't Chase Me Bro, it's 2-1 in favor of French Toast Mafia, up in the series 2-1. One more flag capture will secure them into the quarterfinal, or into the semifinals here. We're in the quarterfinals right now, so really nice job from French Toast Mafia, able to get that flag capture from securing that elbow side of the map in that toss-up. So, getting down and dirty with the flag runs, not really slaying as much as they want to, but at least being dirty when it comes to the objective, and that's what you want to see. Blakers likewise doing the same thing and getting that flag return right there. So Cloud in a little bit of a weird situation here. He has 2 grenades, but he's also no shields on the elbow. Gets a hit marker on that guy. They're just going to spam some pistol shots, and that's 2-2 right now. So really like the fact that they were able to bring this back, and at the same time they kind of gave up complete map control while securing that cap. So they're going to be spawning into the cave, and this could potentially be it right here. Love the ground pound towards the elbow. Love the fact that he didn't bring towards the snipe side, because he knew they were going to spawn there. Let's see what's going to happen. The flag is pushing towards the elbow. Cloud's over here. Could that be it? That is it. 3-2. So again, the fact that they didn't stop Felcated from coming into the elbow is the reason that they lost that game. Super small mistakes. If the fuel rod kill in truth would have went a little bit differently, they obviously got outplayed in Empire Strongholds. You guys can see the stats right here, but the main thing was that flag capture. We saw it Y mode, Felcated making his way towards the elbow, pushing in, getting that flag capture, or getting that flag return, and then that counter capture was just absolutely huge, and you can't say enough about it. Ramy with 14 kills, Gabriel with 10, Cloud with 10, Felcated with 11, Rob the Turtle with 9, Blakers with 10, Turley with 11, Triton with 11. So pretty evenly slayed matchup, but we saw where the mistakes were made. So good series overall. Hats off French Toast Mafia. They're moving on. And, unfortunate that Don't Chase Me Bro, looking so good in those flag games, but just couldn't put it together in those Slayers and Strongholds. Yeah, Rob, that was a great series, man. Thanks for letting me cast that one. Oh. Thank you guys for all the favorites on the tweets and
Stupid noob.
tuning in to watch. Appreciate it. Yo, Spunkle, thank you so much for the 3 months resub, man. Much love, dude. And also, we had 5 resubs while we were out and not streaming for a little bit. So thank you guys all that has supported the stream, like always. Really appreciate it. So let's keep it going, though. Let's see who's up next, and let's check out the bracket as well. So I'm gonna go in here and type bracket so everyone can see the bracket, and we will decide who we want to watch next. So taking a look at the bracket, it looks like New Era ended up taking out Winter Soldiers. So we go and take a look at who they are. That's Captain Anarchy, Marble Eyes, NYC, and Squale. And it looks like they're probably going to be, they're going to be going against French Toast Mafia. So that's the series that I would like to see. But we also have Elevate versus Only Good Online, which is happening as well. And that's Chaser, Monster Munos, and Prototype. So that's probably a really good series as well. I'm really curious what that actual series is. Right now it looks like it's 1-0 in favor of Elevate, potentially going up 2-0 because it looks like they're up in this Coliseum Slayer. So we're going to assume that that series is going to go in Elevate's favor, but if it ends up going to a game 5, we will hop into that game. And I want to stick on board with French Toast Mafia, who we just saw play Don't Chase Me Bro, and we're going to give some love to Captain Anarchy and Squale and those guys because they're freaking awesome. So that's going to be a great series. You guys want game sound down? Okay. I turned the game sound down by 10%. We don't have to really do that. We don't have to like turn. We can just go like this and go like that, and then you guys should hear me. How's that? Is that better? I mean, that game sounds brutal, dude. That menu music, it's like, oh, oh. But yeah, that should help. I turned it down by 12%, plus I went into the menu, so that should have canceled that out. But we are waiting, just for an update, we are waiting on this next series to start. This is going to be French Toast Mafia going up against New Era. So let me close these brackets and open this one. Now we can assume that Elevate is probably going to be Only Good Online. That is 2-0 right now. Like I said, if that ends up going to a game 5, someone let me know. Someone just, obviously tune into Randa's stream and check that out. So if it ends up going past game 4, hit me up and we can check that one out. And then we're looking at New Era and French Toast Mafia. So if you guys want to see the bracket, just check it out. Will this be an archive past broadcast? I'll tell you what, I will put this on my YouTube after that. Oh, what up, Scariotic and Cristola? I will take this and put it on my YouTube after that, so you guys can see it. What's up, what's up? But yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, make sure you follow it. I don't stream as often as I would like to, but I am trying to do it a little bit more. Didn't stream much after losing the LCQ. Was pretty salty for a while. But I've been, still in the Halo community, obviously, still completely up to date what's going on, and always happy to come back and do some awesome things like this. And hopefully if people like this, then maybe we can continue to do this every Sunday. I don't know if I can commit to doing it Saturday on Sunday because I want to have some sort of a weekend, and that's mainly one of the reasons why. Hey, what's up, Rainwater? Sorry I didn't reply to you, but that's one of the reasons why you know, I kind of want to have a little bit of a life. And when you are playing Halo professionally, you know, at least when I am, I really don't have much of a life outside of it and haven't really for the last like 13 years. So, you know, I'm almost 30. I would like to at least have some sort of free time. So I'm not sure if I could commit to casting Saturday and Sunday, especially when I'm watching all of the HCS on Thursday and Friday as well. So EU and NA. I know, man, I'm turning 29 this year. Crazy, right? Yeah, you're alive, bro. Halo Wars 2 impressions. I actually didn't get a chance to play it, man. I downloaded it, and I'm so bummed that I didn't get a chance to play it. Had some friends in town. I was hanging out with Strong Side and those guys. We went to EDC and things like that, so that's why I haven't been really online much. But I downloaded it, and I wish that I would have played it. I have some friends that wanted to play with it, play with me on it, but just didn't. So I'm really looking forward to playing it, though. I mean, I feel so bad because I originally bought the first Halo Wars, and I barely played that, and then Halo Wars 2 comes out, and they extend the beta, and I don't even get a chance to hop on. Yeah, Corner Chris, it's definitely, I feel like, the type of game that you would want to play with someone. Any chance of community EU casting with Onset Halo next Friday since Walshy is on vacation? I don't know. I'd have to look at my schedule, but like I said, I mean, I'm already watching those games. Anyway, it's just a matter of like conserving my energy and trying to like at least have a life outside of these things. Because even though I am watching, I still like to do other things, and I like to watch other games. If you guys don't know, I'm really big into Overwatch and League of Legends as well. I'm pretty much big on all the esports titles, but those are, I think, what I watch the most. You know, could name a lot of players on all the teams, can name all the teams as well, but yeah, I mean, he asked me to do it. He asked me on really short notice, and then, you know, EDC was this weekend, so, you know, I was hanging out with all those guys that came from out of town. It's kind of like my time to hang out with all the people that come from all over the country to Vegas, where I'm at right now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Blitz to me. 26 and you started playing Halo before you're 13, so it's half your life. I know, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm 28 now, and I started playing Halo when I was 14, so it's like, it's pretty crazy to think about. It's like, am I going to be playing Halo 80% of my life? Am I going to be playing Halo till I'm freaking 70 years old? I don't know. Halo 25 or Halo 85, whatever, how many come out until then? Overwatch is definitely an esport for sure. They just had a $25,000 tournament that Josh OG ran the other night, and it's going to be one of the most, you know, financially backed esports titles in all of friggin' mankind. No, Nightlights. I stopped working with them. Geez, 2013, 2000, yeah, 2013. Oh yeah, I think Halo 5 is a blast. I think it's a really good game. I think that the only thing we're really missing is, you know, more spectator mode and just better maps. Obviously, we have these, you know, updates coming out soon. I'm curious to see what kind of updates. I also think that there's a little bit more improvements when it comes to the sniping auto aim. I feel like no scoping is a little bit too easy and should be a little bit harder. But other than that, I think that it's a pretty, you know, balanced game. But yeah, curious to see when this French Toast Mafia series is going to start. I'm going to see if anyone is streaming on these teams, so I can go and take a look. Or we'll just constantly be checking custom games. But hopefully we don't miss any games because we've been chatting it up for a little bit. If anyone from New Era or French Toast Mafia is in the stream, can you please just let me know when you guys are about to start your series so I can check it out? No, Eric, no lucky panties, but if you have some, you know, boxers, preferably with no skid marks in them, feel free to send them to me. I'll give you a P.O. box. I'm just kidding. I mean, Nightlights, I've watched that so many times that, you know, when it first came out, I already know so much about it. I really don't go back and watch it. Bills, to me, I don't think that, you know, that there's going to be console tournaments. I think they're probably going to be ran on PC. I think that if anyone puts money into it, it's probably going to be Blizzard, which is most likely going to assume most of their fan base is coming from PC and BNet anyway. So I'm expecting it to be on PC. Yeah, I'm not really concerned about her. She's old news. All right, so that's a 2-to-1 series. That's interesting. All right, we can hop on board with these guys. We'll hop on board with this series since it's 2-to-1. Then we have some sort of potential game 5. I'm down. Gotta get the energy. Kind of don't feel. I wasn't gonna do this today because I didn't feel very good, but the fact that you guys are all digging it makes me feel good. No, I don't think that OW is going to be, you know, something that they outsource another company to do. I think that it would probably be done in-house, just like the LCS is done by Riot. So yeah, we're just waiting for, we're going to hop on board with, if you guys want to take a look at the bracket, we're going to be in the semifinals. We're going to hop on board with Elevate versus Only Good Online. And I also want to see that New Era versus French Toast Mafia series as well. Oh yeah, man, Spike TV and ESPN, that was like when I was like 20, so yeah, that was about 8 years ago. First Take, they put me through what they call a washer, where I did just a bunch of publicity for pretty much MLG and Dr. Pepper. Oh, there's the first jail joke. Not too surprised it finally came out. I never went to jail, so you guys can stop talking about that like 3-year-old troll thing. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, game 4, Plaza Strongholds, waiting for them to start. Thank you. Where am I working right now? I'm doing freelance production. I got pretty much 2 offers right now. I have another potential job offer that I'm considering. Been thinking about it, so just kind of, you know, figuring out exactly what I want to do now that I know that I'm not going to be, you know, playing in the HCS Pro League, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyone know what the final form WS series is looking like? No, no idea. Would I work for 343? Depends on what position they would put me in. I'm not going to go there and test Halo 6 and be a game tester, that's for sure. I'm way too experienced for that. How did I get out to Vegas? I drove with my truck and I put everything in a U-Haul. And yes, I've considered casting, yes. Yes, I do think I'm good enough to be on a pro team. I don't know, I could help them with their production or their, just management in general, really. Yeah, I mean, I was reached out, the questions you guys are asking, I can't really give all details with because they supposedly want me to keep it like secret and stuff. So I can't really give all the details on these things. I would definitely like No Radar for sure. I would totally dig No Radar. I have no idea, Clutchy. I think one of the things that may like turn people off about me is that, I don't know, after working at Newegg, for example, I'm just very like outspoken. Like I'm always one of the first people to express my opinion or just how I think things should be done or giving ways of improvement. And I come off, kind of hardcore. So that kind of intimidates a lot of people because a lot of people that work 9-to-5 jobs in general are kind of just, I mean, from my experience, I don't know what it's like anywhere else. I'm not saying that these guys are doing that. A lot of people are just there to collect paychecks. They really aren't as passionate. Say someone like me who has, obviously dedicated that much time towards Halo, but a lot of people are just like happy to, go there and collect a good paycheck and then just go home and live a normal life. For me, I've always been, an overachiever and I set my goals really high, and a lot of people are on that like just to get by standard or, under promise, over deliver. It's like I like to set my expectations and my goals really high. I'm not playing, I'm casting right now, Jada. Am I rooting for CLG or Envy? I'm not really rooting for either one of those teams. If I had to pick, I would say I want Envy to win because I want to see CLG lose, because once they lose, I know other teams will start to actually believe that they can lose. So I think that after that happened with E6, I think that a lot of people are going to catch on and be like, oh, wow, we can beat them too. So I wouldn't be surprised if they started to lose a little bit more, especially a lot more than they have recently, which is pretty obvious, because they haven't really lost. So yep, we're just waiting right now. We are waiting for one of these series to start. I don't know why it's taking so long for this Elevate series to start. We're looking at potentially Elevate versus Only Good Online, and then New Era versus French Toast Mafia. I guess probably if I refresh the bracket, we're waiting for... Oh, nope, ESL's updated the bracket, so that's not the case. Most likely just waiting for players to get into the lobby so we can start that one up. But... the big match that we're waiting for right now is we're going to look at Game 4 between Elevate and Only Good Online, and that series is 2-1 right now in favor of Elevate, and the teams just went red and just went blue, so that one's going to be starting up right now, and we're going to be hopping in there really soon. If I had to pick a team to form, I don't know. Am I on the team or is it just 4 other players? Obviously, you know, Final Boss won the final tournament, so, you know, they were really good, but I felt like we choked against Carbon and could have put up a way better finals than they did in 2007. I felt like, you know, if we would have beat Carbon, we could have potentially beat Final Boss, but Carbon always played us really well, and they always, you know, wanted to beat us really badly. You know, I tried everything I could in that series. If you guys want to go back and look at that lockout oddball game, we were down 2.5 minutes, and I go on a like 18 spree with the sword, and I jump off the map and sword back on to Karma for the rampage. It's pretty sick if you guys never seen that video. All right, so they should be allowing us to spectate here really soon. Yep, we're in. All right, Plaza Strongholds, 2-1 in favor of Elevate.
Strongholds.
All right. So this is 2-1 right now. Elevate is in the lead against Only Good Online. I'm gonna call them Ogo because it's easier. But I actually teamed with Prototype and Chaser for the LCQ and know what these guys are capable of. So let's hop on board with one of these guys. Let's hop on board with Pitizype, who is making his way towards the dip right now. And maybe not the best play here to kind of expose yourself on the radar, but ends up getting a kill anyway. Brainstorm picks him off. So VTech getting a double kill, Brainstorm picking up a kill, and that's going to give an advantage over to Elevate. So they should be able to get the captures here that they need in order to start scoring, but nobody has gotten this bottom mid area yet. So it's going to be a fight for bottom mid, and the fact that these guys on OBO have Nest is a pretty big advantage for them, because they can use the height advantage and also the spawn advantage to get these guys out of the bottom mid area. So let's check out. Oh, okay. OBO is blue, or OBO is red, and then Elevate is blue. Okay, never mind. So yeah, I like the fact that Elevate has Nest. That gave them the advantage. Like I was saying, whoever had Nest control is going to have advantage because they have a better opportunity to spawn and make their way out into the real estate that they want to get. So obviously the ideal setup is to give them yard and to hold this bottom mid in Nest, and it's just going to constantly be a fight here. So let's hop on board bottom mid and see what's going on, because it looks like Chaser's trying to bring this one back for his team. He goes into bottom mid, gets melee on one guy after getting a kill, but the reset comes out for Elevate, and they are holding this one. 10-point lead right now, 0 points from the side of OBO, and also possible triple cap coming out right here. This is going to be a big kill. If Chaser can get random before he gets the capture, he doesn't. So possibly should have sprinted in there, get the contest, and maybe even go for a Spartan charge, but instead elects to take the safe route, lays down the shots. The triple cap is happening, so he has to stop this triple cap, and then they potentially need to push out and get control of Nest. So a lot of people are charging in for the side of Elevate. They may leave Nest exposed, which isn't very good, but the fact that they do have even in slaves right now is good. And Rando with a huge kill on Chaser right there. Chaser needed to land those shots in order to get top center control and make his way towards Nest, and that didn't seem to be the case. But it looks like Monster is making his way towards Nest, so this could be big. If you can get Nest and have yard, that's okay, but it looks like as that's happening, Elevate is taking the yard. So they will be able to score right now, but for how long is the question. And if you can hold this bottom mid, they get the camo right there at 48, so keep that in mind. So if you can hold bottom mid and yard, that's fine, but the fact that they got camo and bottom mid is pretty big. So they should be able to bring this one back. Not able to do much with that camo. Monster is, and a nice job from VTech, not only getting a double kill, but also making sure, oh, we got a donation. Thanks, Pro Battle League, for the $10 donation, appreciate it. So the fact that VTech was able to get that kill but ended up getting teammated is pretty big, and the fact that these guys are holding snipe side is going to give them a good advantage. So that ground pound wouldn't have did much. I don't really like that play from Monster. He ended up going S4 and realized his team was up there, so he should have dropped. But if he would just went towards top center or anywhere besides that spot, then he would have been a lot more useful. And again, like I was saying, there's really nothing wrong with holding this bottom mid and yard as long as you can go down towards the driveway area. If you guys know where that is, it's going towards the Prius. And and then using that advantage once you get the slays to eventually go over Nest. So Brainstorm a little premature when it came to pushing over there, needed to get the slays, but VTech going huge, constantly getting these double kills. Let's hop on board with him. He's solo capping this Nest area, and I really like to see those aggressive plays coming out from VTech. Solo pushing in there and ends up capping this with Brainstorm. So another triple cap coming out from the side of Elevate. Keep in mind that they are up 2-1 in this series, and they have the triple cap. They have a lot of momentum right now, and they have complete control. So they're going to have to push in towards the yard if you are OBO, because you need to stop the bleeding. You're not going to be able to get into Nest. You're not going to be able to get into bottom mid unless you get the spawn. They end up getting the spawn, but the thing is how much longer are they going to be able to hold this? They should be able to get wiped out here if the guys collapse on them, and that's exactly what Randa and Nemesis are doing. So once they get these kills, they're just going to get that Nest back, and then they're going to clear out the guy that potentially goes for the yard here. And I really like that play. I like the play from Nick. I like the play coming out from whoever's flanking over here. On this right-hand side. I'm not too sure who that is. They're trying to keep him out of yard like I was saying. Now, Nick needs to back down and not really overextend, but his teammates are all just flying in. What's going to happen here is the camo's going to be up. No one's really going for the camo. Let's see if Randa's going to be on top of that. He did. So camo's up at 43, but now they kind of mess up the spawn cycles because they overextended. So they could have slow played that a little bit more. They didn't have to stop the triple cap. They could have said, okay, force these guys in yard. Camo's coming up. Let's just get this camo and secure it like we have the rest of the game. But it looks like they really like going for these triple caps. So Randa adding the pressure. I like this. They need to make sure that they hold Nest or bottom mid here, though. So Nest is giving up, so bottom mid is the key. So Randa's probably going to go top yellow here. That's what I would be doing after this situation, or he goes driveway. So both of those plays are fine. You can contest it from the driveway, just like I was saying earlier, but potentially if he was top yellow, he could have laid down shots on those guys from better angles, maybe even ground pounded, and he could have even maybe even had an overkill because everyone's just kind of flooding that bottom mid area right there. So either way, you know, that's in hindsight, but they still have the right idea in mind. But potentially because they charged those spawns when the camo's coming up, they weren't able to finish this game off, and they gave OBO a little bit of hope, and that's not what you want to do when you're trying to close out the series. So Nino's trying to fight for bottom middle here, and I like that they're holding this Nest and bottom middle. It's just a matter of how long can they do it, and how is Elevate going to actually come back here? What are they going to push? And it looks like instead of going for the Nest, they're going to make their way towards the bottom middle. They do capture that, and once that happens, now they have to go towards this Nest just like Rand is doing, and Brainstorm's on top of it as well. They don't know if the guy's S4 or not. They ate up there, no one is there, and Munoz doesn't die. He ends up dying right there. So they're going to just need to control bottom middle here. They have Nest. There's no way with Randa actually holding this area that they'll be able to do that. You could just continually spam grenades here just like he's doing, and this is a really good setup. As long as they watch the spawn behind them, they should be fine. As you can see on our screen, all players for OBO are spawning towards the loop, and now they have to desperate towards either this Nest or bottom middle, but they can't split up and go for separate ones just like they're doing, and that's what they did. Chaser ends up going over there, and Monster making his way towards the Nest. If they were both at the Nest right now, this wouldn't be a problem, but it is. So looks like Elevate is probably going to be able to secure this game. Camo's coming up. I don't think it's going to matter. That should be the series, and that should be the game. It looks like that's 3-1 now. Elevate takes that win, and they are going to be moving on to the winners bracket finals. It's analysis and announcing, dude. I'm doing both at the same time. All right. Cool. I hope you guys like that series. Let's take a look at the stats. Munoz, wow, 20 bomb, most kills in the game, but you know, his team not really holding holding the same amount of kills as he did. Prototype was 6, Chaser with 9, Munoz with 20, like we said, Monster with 9, Brainstorm with 15, Nemesis with 16, VTech with 17, and Randa with 12. You know, Elevate just did a really good job of not only holding their setups, but also being really aggressive when they needed to. I only saw maybe one major mistake from them. Other than that, all of the rotations and the way that they were collapsing on things just showed really solid teamwork, but more than that, they just showed them great knowledge of the actual game type itself. So Elevate obviously really strong in strongholds, but maybe not Eden. So it looked like they were really good at Empire, really good at Plaza. If they can you know, step up their Eden game, then I think that they'll just overall be a really great strongholds team. Which AM players have I been most impressed with besides Rami, since that's a pretty obvious one? I don't know. I think that, what's been pretty impressive is that, I don't know if you guys ever watched the time where Hysteria and Randa kind of got into it. It wasn't necessarily like Randa got into it with Hysteria. More or less, Hysteria was just like talking tons of trash to Randa. I really liked that Randa kept his composure and didn't really say anything back. And this is like his overall attitude is just like, whatever. He's kind of a dick, so I'm just going to let it slide, and it's not really my fault. I like that he was able to bounce back from that, and I think that he gets a lot of slack when he's actually a pretty solid player. He's not necessarily going to carry a game, but he doesn't necessarily make major mistakes either. But there's a lot of solid players out there, man. Like, they all are really impressive. It's just a matter of who's going to really stick together, honestly. It's just like finding the right group of guys, grinding it out, and then just having faith in those guys. And I think I'm glad that the way that the roster lock happened, that hopefully now these Pro League players are going to be sticking together, but not only that, that these Challenger players are going to say, okay, we're getting close here. It's time to go up and play against these Pro League teams soon. We need to stay together, because even though these teams are, having losing records in the Pro League, they're against really good competition. So they have all of these weeks of practice, and if you form a team a week or two before, there's no way that you can expect to beat them. So I think now is the time. Right after this first lock, once the team changes have already happened and Hines is gone and things like that, now it's time for people to just solidify their rosters and stop the team changing and say, this is going to be my roster, whether we get 4th in this cup or 1st or 6th or whatever it is. They need to have that mentality that they can believe and trust in each other in order to make it into the Pro League, and that's what needs to happen in order for the quality of Halo to go up. All right, so I think we are on. Let's take a look at the bracket really quick. Thank you guys. If you guys are enjoying this stream, just make sure that you follow. Appreciate the support. So there's the bracket. Let's take a look at the bracket. Now we can see Elevate has moved on to the winners bracket finals. We have the losers bracket that's also going on. And then French Toast Mafia versus New Era, I believe, has already started. So I kind of want to see what's going on with that series. Let's see here. No, I'm actually not really big into Destiny. I'm not really sure. If anyone knows what's going on with French Toast Mafia in New Era, let me know, because I don't know what's going on. I haven't seen anything from them. Okay, so 1-0 New Era over French Toast Mafia, and New Era is Anarchy, Marbleize, NYC, and Squale. So up 1-0 over French Toast Mafia, who is the #1 seed, and New Era is the #4 seed. So this is the 1 versus 4, and we also had the 3 versus 2. So we haven't had any upsets actually in this legendary circuit, which is crazy because almost every matchup in the Pro League, this last Thursday and Friday was pretty much an upset, almost. So pretty interesting the way that those things are panning out. I mean, whether you look at it, I'm not talking about maybe like NV beating EG, but if you're an EG fan, you're kind of upset that they lost because they can hang. So that one could have went either way, but I'm talking about all the other matchups. All right, so they're in custom game. It's not spectatable yet. There it is right there. So we're going to hop in. This is going to be game 2. I believe game 1 was Strongholds on the Rig, and we are hopping into game 2 right now. New Era versus French Toast Mafia. French Toast Mafia down as the #1 seed going against the #4. 0-1. New Era up 1-0. And I'm not sure what game 2 is, but we're about to find out right now.
Slayer.
All right, Slayer Coliseum. So it pretty much just comes down to rotations and power weapon control. You know, obviously communication and individual skill, a big part of these things, and teamwork. But when it comes to strategically, you're going to see a lot of people pushing over towards the snipe side. So looks like these guys are sending 2 guys towards the rocket side. Maybe a little miscommunication right there. NYC taking a pretty long route to go and pick up that SMG. And make his way towards the snipe side. I'm not really sure what happened to Rockets. Looks like Marbleized got those Rockets over Cloud. So winning that 1v1 against Cloud, pretty big. Falcated one shot gets cleaned up from Anarchy. It is 3-2 in favor of French Toast Mafia right now. But I believe the weapons are in the side of New Era. So I believe they have Rockets and Sniper. Let's hop on board with Gabriel, who actually had the Rockets. Picked them up from Marbleize's dead body. Anarchy with the Sniper, getting that snipe on Cloud. Big shot. He's over there in the cave. I think he knows the rocket guy is there, so nice job collapsing. Are they gonna be able to kill the rocket guy? Yes, so that's a big trade, especially since you have the sniper rifle in the cave. Anarchy, let's hop on board with him because he's doming. Old school straight ripping squad right here. Los doing work in the cave. Typically you see people grab the sniper and they make their way towards the elbow, but it's always important to also look towards the snipe side, and you can always rotate and keep map control. So I like that he's not kind of buying into going into the elbow or into the flag and is rotating back and forth to the cave. Obviously the cave really popular for when you're in CTF, but we haven't seen many people actually sit in here and snipe during the Slayers. So I like to see this little change of strategy here, but obviously not catching the angles that he wants to, so he's going to switch it up and playing really aggressive, up 9-7. Switches over to his pistol. I'm not really sure if he needed to do this play. I think that's probably the opportunity that you had to go into the elbow with the sniper. I get what he's doing. I understand that he's trying to help his teammates, but sometimes it's important to just play a little bit selfish and be a little bit of an anchor so you can pick off these players. But he does get a pretty fortunate spawn. Let's see if he's able to realize where the sniper's gone. It is Rami. He's making his way towards top sniper. Anarchy does have the flank, but he throws the nades, so that's going to show where he's coming from. He does get double hit markers, so good nade there. Gets another hit marker. No, that misses on Rami. Rami does have the sniper, but he ends up dying. So I like that he switched to his assault rifle right here too, and it is just going to stay alive. Falcated ends up picking up NYC, who was helping Anarchy, and Anarchy falls off the map. So that was a big misplay right there. 2 misplays coming out from Anarchy so far. We're going to switch on board with Cloud, and Cloud is making his way over towards Marbleize, who's trying to stay alive. And this is where you start collapsing on the spawns. This is where you start to get that momentum when it comes to getting that snipe control, so you can just constantly rotate back and forth and spawn the enemies on the elbow, spawn them on the flag. So Cloud doing exactly what he needs to do. Gabriel in control of the rockets, getting the spawn kill on Anarchy, and just crouching, staying off radar, but at least nasty snipe on Squale from Falcated. Gets the double kill. We may want to rewind that. Let's rewind that and see what happened over here. Let's see. We got to see this double kill. Alright. Sorry guys, I want to see what happened. It looked pretty disgusting. We're going to fast forward a little bit. Alright. There's one. Where is it? Okay, so it wasn't as good as we thought, but it still looked pretty sick. So I like that Falcated was able to go and hunt that down. The communication's obviously there. Like, sometimes you kill a guy and people forget where the weapons are, and you end up not getting the weapon, and the enemy team ends up picking it off. And that's like one of the most frustrating things in the game, because you've done such a good job of getting the kills on those guys, but you just never followed through on actually, you know, going and getting the most important part, which is getting the weapon after you kill the guy. So smart play from Falcated, and I like that he's again going for the scatter shot and flanking. I like the aggressive play coming from these guys, but the fact that New Era does have snipe control puts French Toast Mafia on their back. Getting NYC is a huge kill right there, getting that pick. Now they can push him towards that snipe side. They do have the numbers. Gabriel gets hit by a nade, but he does have help coming from Rami on the side. They clean up Marbleize, and it looks like Rami is playing aggressive, so they're going to try the bait and switch on Gabriel. Rami getting that kill on NYC, and here it comes. They're just going to rotate back and forth. Blue Cave, obviously the spawn right now for New Era. They're going to have to go towards the rocket side and lay down shots on these guys in the window. Anarchy has sniper somehow in the back of the base. Maybe he naded that one back, or it was just back there. Gets taken out, but overall they do have snipe control, so not much to worry about. Let's head over to Cloud, who is top sniper right now, laying down the shots on the one-shot guy across the map. Is he able to double kill? He does. Potential triple kill coming out right here. If he didn't have his DMR out, that's Anarchy on the street. Gets taken out from Squale, though, coming around from the cave side. So Cloud obviously wanted the clip right there. I don't blame him, but maybe wanted to stay alive with that scatter shot just a little bit longer. We're going to stay on board with him. Rockets are coming up. NYC's making his way over there, but this is huge right now because Canva Anarchy is coming around the corner crouching. So if Anarchy can get this kill, he can be able to put, oh, it was a trade. So if Anarchy was able to get that kill, they would at least have, you know, 70% of map control right now, because Nate's on the other side, Squale holding snipe side, they have people on rocket side. But that was a big shots coming out from Cloud, because, you know, obviously the assault rifle, if you don't land those perfect shots, it's going to take you out from that close range. So I like what Cloud's doing here. I like that grab of the pulse grenade. I like that he's pushing rocket side, getting these different angles. I like, you know, when people have 3 people snipe side, to have that anchor on the rocket side, because like I said, you can just collapse back and forth. So needs to realize that this guy's no longer there, and just kind of B-top rockets still, so he can rotate a little bit quicker. So a little bit slow on these rotations isn't going to add as much pressure as you would like. But either way, Falcated with the rockets doing serious work, and Cloud just kind of in no man's land while his teammates are just putting in the necessary damage that needs to happen. Looks like that's Falcated doing the work, getting 3 kills while Cloud picks up the 1. And they're just running away with this one, 39-23 right now. It's going to be so hard for New Era to come back. They don't have any control. They're on the spawn cycle. They're splitting up. Anarchy realizing that he needs to take out Cloud, that's splitting up, but he doesn't have any support right here. And then Falcated comes in with the flank. So NYC gets a double kill over there on the snipe side. That should be able to give them a little bit of momentum, but I don't know if it's enough when you're down so many kills. 17 kill lead now coming out for French Toast Mafia, looking like the #1 seed going against the #4 seed, but keep in mind they are down 1-0 in this series. Stronghold's rig went in favor of New Era, so obviously the slang, they have no problem when it comes to that. Maybe they're just a little bit better on Coliseum, maybe they're just a little bit better with the rotations, but New Era looks like, you know, they are the 4 seed right now, and it looks like French Toast Mafia is the #1 seed right now, definitely establishing their dominance. Let's hop on board with someone else, because Cloud did just drop right here. I like Falcated sitting here. He could have potentially baited that a little bit longer, but makes his way over towards that Promethean nade, gets the kill on Marbleize. So nice job of baiting that snipe in the long run for Falcated. Not really sure where that snipe went back. I think maybe NYC could have blown that one back. Maybe Squale has that in the cave as well. But either way, this is what's been happening to them all game. They've just been getting flanked. They've just been getting collapsed on. And that's how you play this game type. Yeah, the snipe did get blown into there, but if you got 3 people hiding in the cave, you're going to die, and that's almost a stake. So really nice job from French Toast Mafia. Really impressive play coming out of them, and the series is now tied 1-1. Let's take a look at the kills. So it looks like Marbleize with the 5 and 12, Anarchy with the 6 and 11, NYC with 8 and 15, Squale with 11 and 12. But the one thing that you notice, I know they didn't have much kills, they really didn't have that many assists as well. So Squale responding to the callouts and things like that, but they just weren't aggressive enough. Gabriel 8, 7 and 7, Rami 10, 10 and 8, Cloud 14, 9 and 8. Falcated 18, 4 and 7. So everybody on the side of French Toast Mafia going positive, nobody on the side of New Era going positive, and when that happens, you're going to almost get staked. All right, so 1-1 now. It's tied up. This is the semifinals. If you guys want to see the bracket, here's the bracket right here. You guys can check that out. The winner of this will go to face Elevate in the winners bracket finals. So we are stoked for that one. We're waiting for that one to go down. But either way, this is going to be a pretty intense series. I'm curious to see if this one does go to game 5, how potentially it would play out, because that one was so one-sided. I'm not really sure what game 1 was, what the score was. I'm really curious to see what that was too. But either way, let's hop into this next game, because it looks like we're allowed to spectate. I'm all out of water, man. Rough life. I have to get water after this game. Thank you, Psycho Shady. Appreciate it.
Capture the flag.
All right, CTF Truth. Love it. Love that this is game 3 here. And I think that we should hop on board. Let's hop on board with Marbleize. We haven't really seen much of his point of view yet. Let's give everybody some love here. Make sure everyone's getting their fair share. And it looks like he's making his way. Really nice nade from Marbleize on car 1. Pretty much perfect nade. I don't know what Cloud's doing. Crouching bottom center right there. Looks like Marbleize picks up the sword. He's not going to get killed from that Spartan charge from Rami. And I love this aggressive play. Making his way over towards the flag. Going to pull this one. Which way he's going to go with this? He's going to make his way towards pink side. Gabriel is pink too, so he decides, hey, screw that. I'm going to run this right past him. I have the sword. I'm running super fast. And here it comes. Instead of, goes from 50 to 30 in the Slayer, all of a sudden to 1-0. Stealth capture, 3 people dead. These guys are coming out hot. That's 3 dead on the side of French Toast Mafia. And Marbleize making his way with the sword again. And it looks like if he's able to get one or two of these kills, he should immediately be able to run the flag here. So curious to see where the rest of the players are. We have 2 on top of the base. Let's go Y mode to see what's going on. It looks like Scotty is making his way with the flank. So let's hop on board with Scotty, who has the flank, and where's he going to go? It looks like he went top center to P3 and got the VR as well. So really nice job spawning Carside in the bubble, and instead of going into the enemy flag, he just decided, hey, I need to get paint control, I need to get this battle rifle, we need to secure map control for the team. So heads up play from Cloud. Marbleize though getting a double kill, and really impressed with how he's playing so far. 4 kills and a capture. So Marbleize, just because of that one sick grenade that he threw, was able to capitalize and snowball the rest of that. So heads up play coming from him. Really like to see perfecting the beginning shots like that, because I know that Rami personally always goes Carside. So in order to win that battle, you have to be, able to go Carside yourself and be experienced doing that. So Squally picking up the double kill here, making his way towards the base. That's going to be 2 dead for French Toast Mafia. That's 3 dead, and Squally has the sword. So if he's able to get around this corner, he should be able to get this capture. 2 people are shooting him in the back. Looks like he doesn't have him on the radar yet, so he doesn't know where it's coming from. That's a trade in kills, so he's just someone to watch his back here, and potentially can kill this guy and run the flag. There it is. NYC has his back, but someone's under the base. That's Cloud. Again, being a nuisance, trying to stop this capture. Oh, really nice play from NYC. The bait and switch is real. You should probably say, NYC, I have sword. You can run this flag, or I'll run the flag instead. And again, a little miscommunication right there. So in that instance, you want to kind of just bait it a little bit longer. The camo's up. I'm not really sure if they communicated on who's going to run that flag, but typically you want the sword guy to run it here. So Gabriel with camo, P1, Squally doesn't even see him. He gets back whacked. I'm not really sure what he was looking at, but either way, they do end up getting that return. And no capture for New Era, no capture for French Toast Mafia, but Gabriel does have the camo, and he's still alive in the base. Squally heads up play, knowing that camo guy should be around that area, and shocked that he knew exactly where that guy was after he had no idea that he was pink 1. So a little bit of a misplay, but then all of a sudden, shows that he knows exactly what's going on in this game. So Gabriel ends up taking him out in the long one, but he wasted a lot of Gabriel's camo and was able to call him out and lay down shots and make him reposition. So overall, a really nice job. Gabriel, though, getting that killing spree, getting that double, laying down the shots on Squally. That's a big kill right there. Rami coming in with the help, and it ends up just tossing it out because it's weak. I like that play. Maybe not dropping under the base because they ended up spawning there. He wasn't aware that they're going to spawn there. Probably thought they were pushing out pink side, but either way, they're running this flag, and it's going pretty fast. Cloud has the sword, and it looks like they are able to secure this cap. Tied up 1-1 in the series and tied up 1-1 in the game. So both times we've seen the sword guy capture the flag there, and that's pretty common here in true CTF. If you guys don't know, you obviously run really fast with the sword, but when you have the flag and sword, it's a really deadly combination. So Cloud sitting here, just crouching with the sword. Pretty good play. I don't even know if I'd be out that far because you get hit with those hit markers. So yeah, if you're going to camp in there, you might as well go full camp mode, man. So he ends up getting that kill. He still is weak though, so he doesn't realize that player doesn't even see him on the radar. That guy should have dropped on him because he was one shot. Does get the hit marker. At that point, that guy is one shot, so you have to chase this kill. You can't just not play aggressive here. He did zoom in, so he wasn't able to see his radar. So I don't know if I really agree with that play to zoom in because you can't see where the player is actually going above you. And it looks like camo is coming up in the next 20 seconds. So whoever's getting pink control here, also whoever controls the sword should be able to at least have the advantage for the next cap. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to secure anything, but Squally in here being a nuisance. So this little play right here should be able to at least secure them something, whether that's the camo or whether it's the cap or both. So leaves the camo for his teammate Captain Anarchy. This one's going to get ground pounded in. It's going to be 2-1. No one's in position to stop this one. And let's hop on board with Anarchy because he did pick up the camo and is just slowing play this one pink 1. So that guy is not weak, so I don't know if he should have shot. His teammates did not hit the shots across the map. Cloud sees him right there under the base. Valkyrie looking for him as well. But Anarchy's still staying alive, so he's going to make his way towards, calls out that guy under the base most likely, and he's going to make his way towards the sword, which isn't there. I believe someone on French Toast Mafia has that sword. But up 2-1 with the camo. Nice advantage right here. They do spot him under the base, and he does get hit, so his teammates need to help him out here. And again, just maybe not the best positioning for Anarchy right there. Could have totally slow played that a little bit more, but at least he's, allocating French Toast Mafia to make their resources go towards him to at least kill him and drop out of position as well. So not the worst play in the world, but still not the best scenario. I know he would like to at least stay alive a little bit longer right there. And in this situation, I would just try to get either top center or maybe just try to get into the bubble and lay down shots so you're choking the spawns. He does have help from Marbleized. So let's see what he does. He elects to get the carbine and go into this. And then while he's doing this and being annoying, people are now forced to shoot from this side of the base, and now his teammates can kind of push out pink side. So let's see what's going on pink side of the map. And it looks like NYC gets one kill on Gabriel. Squally gets a kill on Felcated. Now he's just being annoying over here in the bubble. Rami has to go and charge him. Is he going to be able to kill Rami? That would have been a big kill. He could have pushed in after that. But while that's happening, someone's running the flag. Who is that? That looks like NYC is pushing that flag out. So really impressive run from NYC, just distracting. If he could have got a little bit more help, Squally did have the fuel rod right there. Could have helped maybe a little bit more. Ended up deciding to help a guy car side instead, but needs to prioritize the guy running the flag. So looks like Cloud's going to be able to secure that fuel rod and pin control. Unfortunately, that guy wasn't seen in front of him. Gabriel gets that melee, gets that kill, and potentially camo and fuel rod going in the side of French Toast Mafia. They need to set up and do defense right here. This is exactly the right play coming out from NYC. Really like that. Weakens the fuel rod guy. Isn't able to clean him up. Anarchy doing his best to try to stop these guys. Has a nice nade on Cloud. Forces him under the base. So big job. Nice job by Anarchy getting the kill on the one guy and also weakening the other guy going for the flag. And then ends up picking up another one. So ends up getting 2 for 1. And meanwhile, NYC pushing him towards the flag. He should probably just pull this one. I would have probably just pulled that and tossed it out. The flag's down, bottom center. So he could potentially just bait this while the flag's coming in behind him. Oh, really nice nade there. Nice splinter nade on Cloud. Also, Squally sitting there helping as well. Falcon gets the return, but he needs to try to get this touch. And I like this play. NYC definitely pull this pink side. Help him get the return. Oh, misses it. Fumbles a little bit. It could be you know, that split second that costs him. And Gabriel ends up getting taken out. So, oh, I like this as well. Staying alive. Just baiting this. Camo's not for another minute, so I'm not really sure what he was doing there, and Clouds ends up getting the return. So his teammates dying all around him was a pretty big deal. The fumble didn't really mean much, and I love that these guys are securing the car side of the map. This is definitely going to be a cap here. Anarchy gets taken out, and these guys need to regain map control instead of desperating for this return. So time to reset, time to regroup. Looks like Squally realizes that as well. He's going to rotate back to his base, and they're going to try to get pink side because this next flag is already coming out. This is a potential double cap coming out from French Toast Mafia. It's a 3-on-2 situation right now, and I don't think they're in a spot to stop this one. This could be game right there, and there it is. So as I was saying that, they needed to realize that, hey, this cap's gone. We don't need to desperate for this cap. Anarchy top center maybe could have stayed alive. You know, doesn't have to pop out one shot to try to stop the cap. Sometimes it's better just to say, hey, I'll just live and then I'll turn around and kill the guy on my own flag when he's running it and try to regain map control. And taking a look at the kills, Anarchy with 6, NYC with 19, Marbleized with 11, Squally with 14, Gabriel with 16, Falcated with 21, Cloud with 11, Rami with 11. So Falcated going huge in the kill department, and 2-1 now in the favor of French Toast Mafia. New Era had that one. They had it 2-1. They were looking really good. They had the flags. They were playing it right. It's just, you know, one mistake, and French Toast Mafia is going to capitalize on it. So moving into game number 4. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate everyone taking their time to join me today. Glad you guys are enjoying it. I've gotten a lot of great feedback on Twitter, so thank you guys so much. And I will be uploading this onto YouTube after that, after this, and it's going to take probably all night to process. So the rebroadcast will be available tomorrow for anyone that wants to watch it on YouTube. So if you guys want to see the bracket, just type in exclamation point bracket like I am doing right now, and that will show you everything that is going on. And the series is 2-1. So we're moving into game 4 right now. We're going to go through Squally's point of view. This is New Era versus French Toast Mafia.
Stronghold.
All right, so this is Stronghold's Plaza. All right, looks like Gabriel's going to make his way towards the nest. Nice nades there on the stairs are going to stop the boom. It looks like Anarchy's going to make his way towards top yellow. I really like that beginning strat, but it looks like it doesn't really pay off for French Toast Mafia, and they don't end up getting the camo, which is probably one of the most important parts of this game type. So let's hop on board whoever got the camo, and that's Rami. Of course he's got the shotgun. He's most likely going to stick someone soon and get a triple kill as well. but that was in the Pro League, and this is in the Legendary Series. We all know Rami went huge in that game, and against Renegades while he was subbing for Allegiance. So Rami with this camo battle rifle shotgun combo is going to be able to do some work, but not as much as we thought he was, because it looks like Squall is going to be able to clean him up right there. So if they can get this bottom mid, that'd be pretty big. So now they're controlling Ness in bottom mid, which is the ideal setup here, and the fact that French Toast Mafia is at yard means that they're going to have to now push their way out and try to get control of Ness, and that starts by getting a pick like they did on Anarchy right there. So there's 2 picks and potentially 3. Oh no, NYC doesn't go down right there to Rami. Rami maybe needs to hit the weights, and it looks like they are going to be able to try to get bottom mid here. 3 people in bottom mid. They should be able to secure this one. Now that things have flipped, and it looks like New Era has yard. Meanwhile, French Toast Mafia has bottom mid and Nest. So nice job flipping the spawns. Nice job containing map control. NYC making his way towards this Nest right here by himself, though. Needs a little bit of help. Rami taking him out with the nice shots. So gets the reset, and it looks like bottom mid is going to be taken. So I like that they split up there. I'm shocked that they were able to cap bottom middle and pressure Nest at the same time. I'm curious to see who the rest of Rami's teammates are. But either way, Rami doing a nice job getting that kill. Again, fighting NYC right here, getting a nice double kill. Doesn't contest that. NYC didn't lay that death nade down. That was definitely a team nade. So double cap right now coming out for New Era. Potential triple cap coming out for a second. There it is. And then again, the spawns are flipped. Rami looking for that shotgun again. Is he going to stick someone and get the triple kill? I don't know. But Rami making his way with the shotgun over towards Cafe. I like that he is going to hold this area, because this is a really important area to hold if you want to try to get back Nest control. A lot of people say, don't go into blue, let's just go loop. The thing is you need to cover all different angles. So if you don't clear out Cafe and if you don't clear out blue, then you're potentially going to get flanked. So it's really important to hold all different types of angles. It looks like someone from New Era is going to pick up that camo, and that is Squall. He needs to be careful because he's about to get hit with Gabriel on the prowl, but ends up getting killed by Squall. So triple cap right now. Squall needs to try to get maybe 1 or 2 more kills before they can get any more strongholds here. Ends up 3 people down now for the side of French Toast Mafia. Squall putting in the work with the camo is going to try to capture this bottom middle. That's Rami. He does have the shotgun. Got to be careful here. Ends up taking him. That didn't do any damage right there, really. So now camo shotgun on the side of Squall. So bottom mid is being contested. It looks like Rami did have the death screen on that guy, so Gabriel with a nice nade. But the thing is they have yard and they still have Nest, so they don't necessarily need this bottom middle. They could have, waited for the enemy team to go for yard, and then that's when you go for the bottom middle. And now because that happened, it looks like French Toast Mafia is going to capitalize on that mistake, and that is Rami over there who just ended up capturing that Nest. So bottom mid and Nest on the side of French Toast Mafia, they are down, but they do have control, and it looks like Squall trying to capture bottom mid by himself. That's not going to happen against a good team. You need to do a coordinated push there. Marble is getting a pick, so it's 3-on-3 right now, and let's see what New Era can do to try to take back control. They tried to push on that snipe, on that blue ramp, but Rami in good position as well as the rest of his team to be able to lock it down. And I like this play from Rami right here. I don't know if anyone saw what he's doing, but he's in a pretty good spot. Maybe try to pre-nade. I love that thrust, though. That was a really nice thrust. He only had 1 shotgun left. So in strongholds, or maybe even King of the Hill, like in other game types, you always want to utilize your grenades, because if you can hold people back for 5 seconds, that's still 2 or 3 seconds that you're actually capturing time. So it's important to just hold people back as long as possible, even if you're not actually getting the kills. I understand that he had the shotgun there, but it's just something to keep in mind for all you players out there looking to kind of improve your strongholds game. So grabbing the Hydra here and getting this nice kill on Squall, and I'm shocked that NYC didn't listen to that call out, but ends up hearing a little late, throwing a nade, and doesn't really do much. And it looks like the triple cap's in effect, but they do capture Nest. So bottom mid is being captured as well. Rami's going to need to kind of contest this a little bit more because the health is coming, so they haven't reset it yet. There still is more players in there. Rami needs to stay in there. It's fighting a 2-on-1 situation at this point, and he does have his Hydra. Let's see if he's able to do anything. Rami switches the Hydra and gets the double kill. So really nice play. They needed to take him out in that situation. That could have been a huge momentum shift on the side of New Era, and especially when you're down 2-1 in the series, you can't afford to be giving up any more points in these strongholds. Small little triple cap coming out, but it won't be for long, as New Era is able to locate, or is able to secure that stronghold in the yard. They do have a player over at posters being annoying right now, but it may not be enough because they're so well spread out on the side of French Toast Mafia. This guy right here with the shotgun gets taken out. That's a killing spree for Rami. Keep in mind, he did go on that killing frenzy in the Pro League against Renegades when he was subbing for Allegiance. So he knows how to play this game type, and he knows how to control the weapons. You have to shut him down. And how are you going to do that when you don't really have any momentum? So I love this play from Rami. He needs to drop down before they get it. So a little too late there. Rami needed to drop down maybe about a second earlier to contest that, but Falcade doing his best to try to stop it. It's a one-on-one right now. It's Gabriel versus, I think, Anarchy in bottom mid. And it looks like who's going to win this one? They're going to stay alive. Both of them are going to stay alive, and Gabriel's going to do his best to contest bottom middle. So ends up getting that trade with Marvelized, but puts his teammates kind of in a weird situation because they all need to charge bottom middle, but no one on the side of New Era in position to try to stop that. And potential triple cap again coming outside. And this is the third time we've seen Rami grab that shotgun. So love to see him utilize the nades here after he gets that kill. He doesn't get the kill. NYC, great job of playing aggressive. Rami could have switched to a shotgun or done a number of plays right there. And the camo's coming up soon. So with 15 points to win this, French Toast Mafia obviously in a really great position to win this game. But they are falling in numbers, and camo's coming up really soon. So this is a huge kill right there. Anarchy needs to finish that guy off. He does. He has the shotgun. He's a stay alive. Ness is not able to be captured, but they are capturing bottom middle, and that camo is up. So let's see if NYC, he got a good spawn, so let's go to NYC and see if he capitalizes and goes for the camo. He doesn't. He ends up to elect to drop bottom center and try to get these guys bottom center, and that's not what you want to do. That's a little bit of a desperation play. So let's hop on board to see if anyone even grabbed that camouflage. Looks like Squale did it, and they're all just flooding bottom middle and dying. So looks like French Toast Mafia is aware of that. Need to maybe even push towards the nest in that situation and try to get a little bit control, because in this point it looks like New Era is not going to be able to walk away with this one. I think it's going to be a 3-1 series win in the favor of French Toast Mafia, and they are able to secure it off right there. So hats off to those guys. They are going to be going against Elevate in the winners bracket finals. Bless you. Are you watching my stream? Nice. All right, cool guys. So that is the series right there. Again, hats off to these guys. Both teams played an amazing series. You know, just small mistakes in that last CTF game, you know, could have potentially went to game 5, and you know, obviously Slayer Coliseum was a little bit one-sided. So maybe go back to the drawing board for the Slayers and maybe kind of look at how they can retake map control for the side of New Era. But Elevate versus French Toast Mafia, number 1 versus number 3 seed, I believe, is coming up next. Hi, Miss Kitty Ninja. What's up, everybody? Thank you for watching. All right, guys, we are moving into the winners bracket finals. Thank you, Frozen Brute. I'm gonna go get a drink, guys.